Yeah. 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 Cause I'm on the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. She tell me, girl, I'm on the way. Say, I'm on the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. She tell me, girl, I'm on the way. Say, I'm on the way. Yeah. You ain't gotta say shit. It's going down, down, down. Yeah. Say, you ain't gotta say shit. Yeah. Say, cause I'm on the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. She tell me, girl, I'm on the way. I'm on the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. Tell her, girl, I'm on the way. She, I'm on the way. Yeah. Don't no matter where you are, cause I'm on the way. Yeah. I'm on the way. Yeah. Had a conversation with Shorty, never met before. Damn, she looking good. She had a homegirl with her, but conversation led to another one. I'm talking to both like damn, I don't really know who to choose. What's up though? We was all on them trips. We was spending up them chips. Pulling up in them whips. Late nights we would dip. You know we was rockin', we turned up all night, yeah. Scratches on my back, ain't no cushions action. Every time she around, it's going down, yeah. We all in the hotel room, scratches on my back, man, we on the wall. Niggas call downstairs like, man, this noise can't take too much more. Give it to me one time. I'm about to beat it up. Open the list so I can eat it up, cause I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way. She tell me, girl, I'm on the way. Say, I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way. She tell me, girl, I'm on the way. Say, I'm on the way, yeah. You ain't gotta say shit. She went down, 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 yeah. Say, you ain't gotta say shit, yeah. Say, cause I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way. She tell her, girl, I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way. Tell her, girl, I'm on the way. She, I'm on the way, yeah. Don't no matter where you are, cause I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way. Water whipping with the diamonds, goddamn, you know that she shining. Know that she all on the shit, and I was just trying to hit her up with perfect timing. Damn, I know she wanna live again. She was all on the live again. She so live again. Jump up on the pole, do it real quick, make a couple dollars in. Girl, I know you been wanting this here, girl, on time. And I know this thing here been all over your mind. We finna get it in, yeah. This is her favorite song, her and her friend, yeah. Matter of fact, y'all both can go, open that door, y'all can come in, yeah. Me and my niggas, we got 100,000 wrapped in rubber bands, throwing it up. Couple of bitches checking us out, shit. You know we don't give a fuck. I need another one, purple and double cups. Shit. I need another one, tell him to pull it up. Cause I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way. She tell me, girl, I'm on the way. Say, I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way. She tell me, girl, I'm on the way. Say, I'm on the way, yeah. You ain't gotta say shit. Going down, 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 yeah. Say, you ain't gotta say shit, yeah. Say, I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way. She tell her, girl, I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way. Tell her, girl, I'm on the way. She, I'm on the way, yeah. Don't no matter where you are, cause I'm on the way, yeah. I'm on the way, yeah. Yeah.
What up, people? How is it going? How your day going? As you can see, we are back with another Dope Darkness podcast with my guy, M. I almost said it wrong. MT Darkness. Shout out to my guy. Look, Ty's already in the comments. We can't even do the intro yet. And here we go. Screw Bill Goldberg. Ty, can we at least say hello? Can we at least say hello? Like, dang, bro. D Well, what's good with you, man?
I appreciate that energy though.
Right.
Right off the
Shout
rip.
shout out to everybody that's joining on Twitch. Shout out to everybody that's joining on Darkness Twitch. Shout out to everybody that's joining on YouTube. Much love to y'all. I hope y'all day is been good. Before we start, Dark, how's your day going, man?
My day has been going kind of horrible. Not gonna lie. I woke up probably 2 days ago, just in horrible pain, back pain. So the past couple of days I haven't really been able to sleep properly, and it sucks. but
Oh man.
I pushed through the pain to be on the podcast because this is what's most important. So
Let's
we're
go.
doing this for y'all.
Let's go. Let's go.
What about you, Dope? How you been?
It's been a busy day. So I had a show last night. Um, and I didn't get back until maybe like 12:30, midnight, after
Yep.
midnight. And then had to get up early this morning and drive 2.5 hours to the Twins AAU tournament. And then they end up playing an extra game. So I literally just got back to the house and turned the computer
Jesus.
on, and we was like, "Hey, let's get it going. Let's get it going." We promised the people a podcast, and we here. We got a lot to talk about. So what we're gonna do today,
That's true.
Dynamite. I appreciate that sub, man. Appreciate that sub, Dynamite J. Appreciate you, man. So what we're gonna do today, we really need y'all to join the show today. Reason why is we're gonna do our usual. We're gonna give our rundown of Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, Impact. We're gonna do our superstar of the week. We're gonna do our show of the week. But we're gonna talk about Bray Wyatt as well. But we're gonna also share ideas of what we think or storylines, whatever you want to call it. If you have a storyline idea that you think will help the WWE, you know, share it. That's what we're gonna do. I have a couple ideas in mind. Dark said he had a couple ideas in mind. I want to hear your ideas. So if you want to join the show and if you think you got this amazing idea, excuse me, got the hiccup, that'll help WWE, that'll help WWE, please feel free to join the show. I'm about to put the link in the chat again. So if you want to join the show, you can join in as early as you want.
Not some con man from Connecticut.
Wow, Ty is taking shots early. We're gonna need Ty to get on the show because Ty's bringing a lot of energy in the chat right now.
Yes,
He's bringing
sir.
a lot of energy in the chat right now.
I like it.
So if you guys want to join, the link is in the chat. If you're on YouTube, the link is pinned to the chat. So you'll be able to see it in the chat. So if you want to join, please get on the show. If you think you have a dope idea, he said the King has arrived. What's good, King? Appreciate you joining. If you have a dope
also in my
idea,
chat too. So
yes, sir, yes, sir. So if you have a dope idea that you think can turn WWE around and bring ratings to NXT or whatever you think will help WWE, please get on the show and let us know what your idea is. So do you want to start with Bray Wyatt? Let's start with Bray Wyatt, man. That's the hot topic. Bray Wyatt was released, and nobody is happy about that. Maybe AEW fans, like when I say AEW fans, I meant like the hardcore. I love AEW and I hate everything WWE type of AEW fans. I'm not talking about like me and Dark where we can actually watch everything. We're talking about, oh man, this is AEW this, AEW do this and it. We talking about those. I'm the only people that's happy right now about Bray Wyatt being released. Everybody else is not happy, including myself. Dynamite, you see what his comment says right now, so obviously he's not happy.
King, thanks for the sub, by the way. Thank you. But go ahead.
Shout out to King. Shout out to King. So let's go ahead and get all your opinions out the way on the Bray Wyatt situation and the reaction to it and yada yada. So what you got?
Well, if you on my Twitter, my initial reaction was I was laughing. I must have put out like I don't know, like 20 like laugh reacts or laugh emotes to that. Because this is just comical at this point. The rate that WWE is getting rid of talent, and all because of budget cuts. It's budget cut season. Hashtag budget cut season. I keep telling y'all, this shit never stops. It was revealed. I said that in a tweet. Then later it was revealed that was the exact reason why. Obviously, it's very ironic to me that one of your best merch sellers was released for budget cut reasons, which made me laugh even harder. It's very unfortunate that Bray Wyatt got released. He was a great talent. He was able to reinvent himself so many different times after just like being on the brink of like non-existence. When one character didn't work, he would just come back and just gain like bigger traction than he did before. There's no reason why this character shouldn't have been handled. The Fiend character shouldn't have been handled correctly. It should have been the next Undertaker, in my opinion. Honestly, and it wasn't. You know, I feel like during the Seth Rollins program, that's when it started to go downhill. There were times when it kind of came back to where it was, like the Daniel Bryan and the Finn Balor programs, but it never got back up to where it should have been, and it's a shame. And yeah, I don't know. It's it's just very comical to me that this happened. I can't believe it. Yeah.
When I saw it, my initial reaction was, I got mad. I did. I got pissed instantly. I was like, yo, what the F? I'm gonna try not to cuss today. I was like, yo, what the F? That was my initial reaction. Like, no way. This has to be a joke. Somebody put it in your Discord, right?
Yeah, I think
I was like,
we found out about it initially together from Bushido.
Bushido put it on Twitter.
He tagged us in a thing, yeah, on Twitter.
And I was like, this has to be a joke. And then as soon as I exited that and said that, I went to WWE and there it was. I was like, yo,
Same.
Are you serious right now? Pissed off instantly, but I was like, you know what? Bray has been dealing with a lot. Maybe Bray asked for this, or maybe they worked out a deal since Bray hasn't been on TV. WWE was like, hey, let's change this contract. When you're ready to come back, we'll bring you back at a different contract, you know, because of stupid budget cuts, even though they made the most money that they have ever made recently in the last quarter. But you know, I was like, maybe that's what it was. Maybe Bray asked for a release, and maybe Bray just needed a break, and you know, Bray just wanted to do something else. They agreed to part ways, mutually be respectful, and they'll bring him back. And you know, that's what I thought. I was like, just be patient. Everybody was going crazy. Mickey James went on a rant, and I'm like, Mickey, please let this shit go. You're not. You got your trash bag. You got your pay-per-view. Just let it go. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, you know, just relax. Let's see what's going on. And then it comes out that I don't know if this part was true, but he was texted that he was released.
Oh, I thought he was called by Johnny.
Well, I've seen a couple things. Like I say,
okay.
So that's why I say I don't know what's true and what's not. But it's like, all right, he was texted that he was released, and then everybody is confirming that they told Bray and they told everybody in the back that it was budget cuts. Then I got pissed off again. So I'm like, you full of shit. If you're sitting there saying it's budget cut, I said I wasn't gonna cuss. God, dog.
We cussing today.
I said I wasn't gonna cuss.
We haven't even got to Raw yet. We cussing.
But I'm like, that's what you said? Really? Like, bruh, I have no words for that. You just made the most money that you have ever made in a quarter. Bray Wyatt sells merch even without being on TV. You just brought back Goldberg, Cena, and Edge. And then everybody's saying The Rock and Brock Lesnar is coming soon, at least by Survivor Series or Royal Rumble. Like, yo, what are you doing? Budget cuts? I'm not trying to hear that. You're not even changing your sets from show to show like you said you were. SmackDown and Raw and Money in the Bank all got the same exact stage.
Dope. It's not even that. It's the house shows too. The house shows even look like this. Yep. The house shows have the same stage.
Like, you're selling tickets again. You're selling out arenas again. And budget cuts ain't no excuse. I'm not trying to hear that. Like, what are you doing? You just got $1 billion from Peacock. And obviously got some more because now you're in the UK with Peacock, which Peacock is trash because I looked on it today. Peacock has now eliminated the first 4 seasons of the Renee Young's Talking Smack.
Oh, wow. So the good Talking Smack, the only
good
one
Talking
that mattered,
Smack,
really, yeah.
it's not on there anymore. It's not even on there. I looked at it today because I wanted to watch a classic episode, and it wasn't on there today. So I have, man, Rob talking about a billionaire. Let me get into some comments because I see the comments moving. Let me see if what I missed. Rob said, "Let's be serious." Orton kept his word. Man, look, Orton. Anybody that feuds with Orton now, I'm just nervous for him now. I'm nervous for him now. Ty's going on his rant. He talking about Braun Strowman. Let me scroll down. He blamed Goldberg at Hell in a Cell 2019. Oh man, we gonna get into Goldberg in a minute because he's going out in Chicago, in front of Chicago tomorrow. So after this happened, we gonna get into that.
Man, I don't know.
He said, "Wipe your ass, Wyndham." Wow. Let's see what G Dog say. We got my homie Bashida joining. We gonna bring you in a minute. Bray gonna form a faction with Cody, then save the world together. Yeah, I don't want to see that at all. Roll the Orton clip. I would if this program and YouTube would let me, but I'm not trying to get banned. Let's see what else I missed.
Baron says, "I want to see Husky Harris, Wyndham in Spurs boots and chaps to give us the fan service we want."
No. Dynamite says budget cuts.
It's budget cut season, man. I don't joke around with this, man. Yo, yeah. I will say though, this is the first time that I haven't been on stream when somebody got fired.
It is. The first thing I did was look. I was like, yo, is darkness on right now?
Every time I've been streaming on Fridays, they've decided to get rid of people. And the first time I'm not streaming, they decide to get rid of Bray Wyatt. And I'm just like, okay, this isn't my fault.
Oh, what's good? He said Peacock is ass. Ty is still going off today. Ty is on a mission today. P shit. It's not called Peacock. Alex said this is a joke, right? Yeah. Raw is in Chicago, Rob. I'm trying to make sure I catch up with y'all. Oh, y'all, I'm sorry. Because what I'm doing now, I always mess up when I'm trying to read the comments while talking about the show stuff. So every now and then we go talk, and then I'm gonna take a break and read the comments, and we go keep it going. Rob said, "Stop the darkness stereotype ASAP." What you mean, Rob? What are you talking about? See a Punk chance tomorrow, man. Please don't. I don't want to hear that shit. But welcome to the stream, my guy Bushida, man. What's good, fam?
You don't gotta wait until tomorrow for the CM Punk chance. We'll just start that shit right now.
Please, though. I don't want to. Look, he got the shirt on.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Well, first off, I'm going to drink this for the Wyatt family. R.I.P.
Okay. So. Okay. Bashida always coming in with the drinks. I need to go party with Bashida, man. Bashida always got the drinks, man. Bashida, how you day going, man?
Bashida, how you doing, bro?
I've been good. I saw that on, what was it, yesterday or Friday? That Bray got released.
Yeah.
It was yesterday, right? Yeah. And first thing I thought was tweet both you guys in.
I was gonna say.
And,
you definitely did. You definitely did. You ruined my day, man. Thanks, Bashida.
I'm sorry, but no, I checked the page. It said released. I was like, oh shit. So yeah, that kind of ruined my whole weekend right there.
Oh man, so D Webb says he is seriously thinking about becoming one of them hardcore AEW fans. Hey, let me go ahead and block you now, D Webb, because trust me, when I say the hardcore fans are annoying, bruh. Be a fan. Be a fan. Please be a fan. But they are annoying.
I call them stands. And they got them everywhere. Like, We'll talk about there was a return this week, and on SmackDown. I'm not gonna say names until we get there, but you all know who it was, and the stands came back out in full force on the Twitter timeline. It was very annoying.
Man, Dynamite said, "Nah, Alexa's gonna get the word." So I tweeted yesterday about Alexa, and I said Raw would be smart to keep her off of TV this week. And then
Bro,
a lot of people was like,
they gave her the gimmick and then just got rid of Bray.
Fact.
Yeah.
And a lot of people was like, smart and Raw, they don't even go together. I was like, yeah, that's true. But they're in Chicago. They better not bring Alexa. Alexa ain't even been wrestling. She's doing the thing with what's her name? Doudrop, whatever her name is. And
Eva Marie.
I can't even remember the girl name.
She's irrelevant. It don't matter, man.
Yeah, so there's no need for Alexa Bliss tomorrow. She already had to go private because that tweet that Mickie James went on, the little rant, it was funny at all for what it was, but it was irresponsible.
Well, she sent out another tweet stating that she respects Alexa Bliss and loves her and stuff like that. She wasn't sending it as a shot towards Alexa Bliss, but what
common
she did
sense
say,
people like us, know that.
What she did say wasn't completely wrong, though, because like when she did say that they did take his gimmick and give it to somebody else, that isn't wrong. People got mad at that, but that's not 100% wrong. That did happen. Alexa Bliss basically has the Fiend character that she's using. It's a different variation of the Fiend character, but it is the Fiend character that she's portraying on there. And then they got rid of the person that created it.
Okay, so now about that, because I was like, I completely get it. But I've read several articles that said it was Bray's idea to let Alexa run with that character while he was off TV.
See, I heard that he was very protective of the character while he was there. His character, yeah.
But
if he let Alexa run with it, then that's fine. But without knowing all of the information, that's what it looks like on the outside. They just took one character and then just shipped it to somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I get what she's saying, but it was the way she tweeted it was irresponsible, especially considering what recently just happened to Naomi, with people blaming her and sending her death threats because Jimmy Uso couldn't stop drinking while she was at work. Yeah. So now Alexa Bliss had to go private on her Twitter. So if she's dealing with that, don't put her in front of the Chicago crowd tomorrow.
They're gonna tear her apart.
Don't have her do no backstage segment. Don't have her do no backstage segment. It's not needed. Just leave her off the show. Leave off the show and let her go next week and do all of that. It's no need for Alexa Bliss to be on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Don't even put her in that situation. And as far as Goldberg coming back tomorrow, I can't wait to see that.
Raw.
Because you know
all of those things that you just said are gonna happen.
All the Bray Wyatt people are gonna be pissed, and then he's in Chicago. He was probably gonna get booed anyway. But now you got a pissed off Chicago crowd because Bray Wyatt, as fun as it has been, the last 3-4 weeks of fans actually coming to enjoy the show for once instead of come to boo and criticize and destroy the show. I think that's going to change tomorrow.
Well, that's what we need. That's what we've needed on Raw the whole time. The 3 weeks of bliss that you've been talking about is the problem, because now WWE, you see we'll talk about what happened this week on Raw, but you see where we're at now. This is exactly why I said when fans come back, they need to say shit and let their stuff be known. I said when people come back, I want them to keep the same energy that they've been keeping during the Thunderdome era while it was whack as fuck, and I want them to go out and let that shit be known. And they've been going to these crowds, and they've just been cheering and doing all this stuff, like acting. It's like somebody put up a sign, like if you're like in a studio of like watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or something like that, and they've all just been reacting to the people that they're supposed to react to. And now we're just getting all this shit again. I don't know. It's just very frustrating because I was afraid this was going to happen. And it seems like it's everything that I thought was going to happen it's just the same old shit. Like, it's very, very frustrating for me.
So this the thing about that, Dark, is fans have been gone for a year and a half, bro. When I got some Money in the Bank Sunday, when the pay-per-view came back to being live in front of the crowd, we were just happy to be at a show. You see what I'm saying? Like it was just a overall. We feel good to see people and to be happy and enjoying the show live. That's what it's been the last 3 weeks. That's why the crowd, even with Raw being ass, that's why the crowds have been how they are. Because we like, all right, we took this for granted. Let's enjoy. Let's come here and actually enjoy whatever show they try to put on instead of trying to CM Punk what and all these other chants that people do to destroy a promo or a show. So, but Raw tomorrow in Chicago, I want to see the old school destroy the show, destroy Raw because they've been ass. They had a chance to do what SmackDown has done and AEW, which is you're back in front of fans, turn it up a notch. AEW has done that perfectly fine. SmackDown has done it perfectly fine. Raw has been the same Raw it has been since it got in the Thunderdome. Like Raw now is probably worse than the PC era Raw at this point. Like it's bad. So speaking of Raw, let's give a rundown of Raw real quick, and then I'm gonna catch up with the comments because I see a lot of comments coming in. And if you want to join the show, I'm gonna put the link in the chat again. So if you want to join in, you just click that link, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about all this stuff. So let's give a quick rundown of Raw. I'm gonna fly through it, and then we're gonna start giving our goods and bads. We're gonna give our ideas of what you think will help Raw or WWE in general, and we're just gonna keep it moving like that. So I'm not even gonna go in order. It's just how I wrote it down in my notes. I ain't gonna lie to you. So Karrion Kross came back. He defeated Keith Lee. So take that for how you want to take it. My initial reaction, I wasn't too happy about it. Damian Priest had a good match with Sheamus, and now he's the number one contender for Sheamus. U.S. What's the title? The U.S. title.
US title.
Yeah. So the U.S. title. Good match. I don't understand why you gave away the match. You could have saved it and just made him. Anyway, let's keep going. Drew had a pretty decent match with Veer. I wasn't mad at that match at all. It was good to see Drew working with a younger talent. I like that match. That match was pretty good. Mansoor and Ali defeats former Retribution, T-Bar and Mace, I should say. So I like that tag team that's forming up right now. I will say that. Morrison defeated Riddle thanks to Omos, whatever his name is, and AJ interfering, and they destroyed Riddle's scooter outside. He was like, "Those for Randy's, dumbass." But, and then Omos and AJ beat the Viking Raiders again in another tag team championship match. Bobby destroyed Shelton and said, and I'ma just say that. And then Charlotte destroyed Nikki, almost superhero, which rightfully so she should, because it's Charlotte versus Nikki and his new character. And that's pretty much Raw. So quick rundown, give me your goods and bads. Let's go.
Go ahead, Bushido.
I'm gonna take the comments while y'all doing that.
I say Drew and Veer. I had fun with that match till the finish because it was a DQ finish for when Drew kicked him with the chair in his face. I remember that much. And everything else can go to hell.
Hey, bro. That's all the good you got?
That's as good as I'm going to give it.
All right.
Go ahead, Darkness.
So for the good, there was some good. A lot of it, there was an asterisk after a lot of these, though. So for the good, I had Priest versus Sheamus. The asterisk I have beside this match, though, is that why couldn't, like Dope said, why couldn't Priest fight anybody else? Why did Priest have to fight Sheamus to get this title match? And this is just the first of many matches we're about to get. We're about to get a best of 7 series, I'm assuming, between Priest and Sheamus. So, not looking forward to that. But the match on Monday was good. Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders was a good match. but it was a rematch. Literally have just seen this already. And we saw like a variation of it the week before in that 6-man. So we just kept getting that again. Mansoor and Ali versus Mason T-Bar. I thought that was the only truly good thing on the show because I actually like Mansoor and Ali as a team. I thought they were actually really fun and they worked really well together. For mid, I put Riddle and Morrison. I thought that the match was just okay. And it seems like Riddle and Randy Orton versus AJ and Omos is going to be the title thing at SummerSlam. That's what it's looking like, at least. Holy shit. All right. Now for the bad. The 19-minute opening segment. The last time I noted that the last time I did the podcast, I also had the opening segment as a negative on the show, and I guess they didn't change much of anything. This was horrendous. I was not a fan of the speech that Nikki Ash gave. I thought it was just hot garbage. This character is for kids, but it's just like, I don't even know what kid would think this character is cool. Like, Dope, you have kids that are fairly young, right?
Yep. The oldest is 9.
Would they like this?
They've seen Nikki Ash and no.
Okay.
No.
Like, oh my lord. Yeah. When Charlotte and what's her name, Rhea Ripley got in the ring, it was like Nikki Ash was just an afterthought, and it's just like, this is your champion. Like, it's just bringing down the entire value of this belt right now. I don't understand why she's champion. Drew versus Veer, I just really hated the ending of this match. Because like Bushido said, what's his name? Drew lost because he hit a chair that was in possession of Veer. It's like if every time that Rob Van Dam was doing the Van Daminator, like all of his matches that he does that move, he would be disqualified. It doesn't make sense to me. Natalya and Tamina versus Piper Niven and Eva Marie. I thought the distraction at the end was shit. That.
Yeah.
And it was very unfortunate, that Natalya got injured. I tried pinpointing where it happened. I couldn't find it.
It was early in the match where her and Doudrop, Piper, my bad. Piper was in the ring, and she did...
it was like some type of roll.
Yeah, it was like and her right leg got caught under her, and I'm like, it
looked worse than it was. So
I have an idea for that though, by the way, but we're gonna get into that too.
Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross. Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross. Apparently, the initial plan was for Karrion Kross to lose to Jeff Hardy again. But Jeff Hardy got COVID, so then they decided we'll just have Keith Lee lose.
Getting COVID after I run into his ass. Like that shit. Anyway, keep going.
But yeah, like this was so stupid. Like, so your initial response was to let Kross lose again, and then so Hardy can't make it. Awesome. This is your chance to throw any jobber, and you have a whole 24/7 division in the back. So just throw him as fodder to Kross. Let's have Keith Lee lose 2 weeks in a row. Fuck that. I called this the nail in the coffin for the Hurt Business because that's what that segment was.
Man, they rubbing it in. They rubbing it in, bruh.
It's bad. It's just bad. I'm just gonna move off from there because I don't even need to say anything else. Like, that's all that was. I wrote that for a reason. Nikki Ash losing to Charlotte in her first match as champion, leading. Oh, God. So Nikki Ash loses to Charlotte. And then after she loses, she's the champion. After she loses, she said,
killed.
yeah, after she loses, she says, I showed myself that I almost could have won. The fucking champion. I showed myself that I almost could have won. And then the champion challenges the challenger to a rematch. Fuck that, dude. Fuck it. Fuck that, man. Fuck that, dude. No, I don't care for Nikki Ash anymore. No. Fuck that. I'm fucking going heel right now. Look what y'all made me do. I can't, bro.
Somebody clip that.
Yo. Oh, man. Fuck that shit, bro. And that's Raw for me.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I was trying to keep up with the comments while y'all was doing that. Somebody said, who was it? King said it sounded like a good promo to me. So they like your promo that's going on.
Oh man.
Rob is a Nikki defender, I see.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I pretty much agree with everything that you guys said. Like the whole fact that Raw, all it does, I said it on Twitter Monday. I was so pissed off. I ain't gonna say never, but it's been a long time since I actually went on a rant about a show. And one of my latest tweets of the night was, "This is Raw in a nutshell. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. Decent match. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Make the champ Bobby Lashley look good. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Set up a rematch for next week. Set up a rematch for next week. Set up a rematch for next week. Bullshit, bullshit." And that's Raw.
Yeah.
That is Raw. So
that makes me less angry. Actually, reading that is actually better than watching the show.
Yeah. So you're not missing much with Raw. It's a 3-hour show. I went on my rant last podcast. The one Dark couldn't make it, and I was like, "Yo, 3-hour show. It's no excuse for this. It's no excuse for this.
No.
Everybody else get an hour, 2 hours. You get 3. It's no excuse for it." So I give you my goods though before I go on my full rant. So Charlotte destroying Nikki, I look at that as a positive because Charlotte should be whooping Nikki's ass. Period. I'm sorry, Nikki is not on the level as Charlotte. I don't care if she is the champ. This new character, no, she's not on the level as Charlotte. Nope. Now Nikki Cross, if you would have kept it Nikki Cross and she would have been crazy Nikki Cross and she was just going insane, then I would believe it more if she beat Charlotte. But this happy-go-lucky Nikki and almost a superhero and I think I can do it and I think I can head ass. No, like I don't believe in that at all. So yes, I was happy that Charlotte beat the hell out of her Monday. I was like, that's how it should go. But it pissed me off because they set up a rematch for next week, which, like Dark said, that showed me I can almost beat you and this and that, and let's fight again next week. Why do we have to see the same shit again? And then Rhea's gonna get involved, and it's gonna be the same 3 women that's been in the title picture for the last 3 months.
We have 4 weeks
until SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. So we had 2 weeks of Charlotte. We're gonna get 2 weeks of Rhea Ripley, and then I don't know what.
It's probably gonna be a triple threat match.
Yeah, right before the pay-per-view. Well, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm not talking about it's going to be a triple threat match at SummerSlam.
It's already a triple threat match at SummerSlam.
Oh, I'm saying they're going to do the match before then. I have little faith in Raw. I have that little faith in Raw. I'm just, good Lord. I don't know what they're going to do to fill this time, but oh man, it's not going to be good.
So Charlotte whooping Nikki, I like that part. Nikki calling her out and setting up a rematch for next week, I did not like that part. I like the Priest match with Sheamus. It was a good match. Those two can go at it. It looked like they got good chemistry. Again, like you said, Dark, and I don't like the fact that they already showed us the match. We've already seen the match. So why would I be looking forward to it Sunday? I mean, not Sunday, but at SummerSlam when they fight for the title. You just showed us the match. Like, you took away the hype.
They're doing this a lot more recently, so much so to the point that they're even naming them what champion challenges or something like that.
Championship contender matches.
championship contender matches. Yeah. Now they have a name for these things now.
Bruh,
And they're like,
I hate it.
Ugh.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Like, don't give us the match and then give us the match again for the title. I don't want to see that. This is
It's
not
like
WWE 2K.
it's like they're forgetting how to book a show. It's like we're
Speaking
watching
of-
them. Just go ahead.
Oh no, just speaking of 2K, thank you for streaming that night so I could focus on something better than Raw.
I get you. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow, honestly, bro. I can't even lie to you. I have no idea what I'm gonna do tomorrow yet. I will let y'all know. Appreciate the follow. Thank you for joining. If you want to join the show, let me get this out the way again. If you want to join the show and give us your ideas on how to help the WWE or what you like about the WWE or AEW or Impact or whatever, if you just want to vent about wrestling, you can.
Lizard calls it rematch Mondays.
No, it's Monday.
Yeah.
It's Monday night rematch.
Monday night rematch, absolutely.
Been
Alex
saying
says
it.
that at least Cross looks strong. I mean, but again, he could have looked strong against
Listen,
like
Let me
anybody.
get into that. So let me keep giving you my good.
Okay.
I said Priest and Sheamus, good match. Hate the fact that they already gave us the match. Priest could have beat what's the name? Humberto, the same guy that Sheamus was beating up. Since they insist on having Humberto chase Sheamus for that title, even though he hasn't won a damn match against Sheamus. Sheamus has beaten this man down every week. If they wanted to say, hey, let's make Damian Priest the number one contender, how about this? Put Priest against Humberto. Whoever wins, fight Sheamus. And then you start the backstage and the attacks and the promos between Sheamus and Priest. Then you build up to the actual match, not just give away the match. So, moving on from that, Mansoor and Ali, I appreciate that combination. That I get at a hand clap. I appreciate that combination. The fact they beat T-Bar and Mace and they still using the Retribution music, I just don't understand that. I don't understand it because Dijakovic and D.L. Madden can actually go in the ring, but as long as they T-Bar and Mace, you're not gonna ever see it. In my opinion, they have to change the characters. That's my opinion on that. The tag champs beating the Viking Raiders again. I didn't care nothing for it. Didn't care nothing for it at the pay-per-view. Didn't care for it again on Raw. Why did we see it again? Bobby destroying Shelton and Seth. Why are they rubbing it in? Why are they rubbing it in? Now Bobby's looking like the beast he should look like, but why did he have to destroy Shelton and Seth? Why he couldn't destroy anybody else? All the people in the back. He couldn't destroy nobody else. It had to be Shelton and Seth, right? I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
It's because of history, dope. They have history together.
Man, I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. I ain't trying to hear that. And then you got Cross beating Keith Lee, which, all right. So, like you said, Doug, the plan was Jeff Hardy to beat Cross again, and then have Scarlett be called up and basically turn Cross back into that NXT beast, but actually do it on Raw, right?
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
I actually read something like that too. If that was to happen, I actually wouldn't be too mad at it because eventually that you letting us know we're getting Scarlett, who we've been asking for, and we're getting the NXT Cross to come in and start dominating. Yeah, he got 2 losses to Jeff Hardy. Whatever. If that's how you want to tell the story, fine. Whatever. I'm not even gonna kill you on that. It's still Jeff Hardy. But since Jeff was out, why didn't you just leave Cross off TV or have him beat somebody like Garza, Drew Gulak, or Reginald, or Truth? Anybody else? Why did it have to be Keith Lee? Like, I don't understand that. Why did it have to be Keith Lee, who just got back? And Keith Lee was in your U.S. title picture, and he was in your world title picture before he left. And he's been back and instantly got beat up by Bobby Lashley and got beat up by Cross. So now when Keith Lee come out, we're just gonna be like, all right, who we gonna lose to now? You see what I'm saying? Cross could have beat down Tozawa and easily looked strong. He could have threw him around the ring for good 3.5 minutes.
What I'm saying, you have a 24/7 division.
And you could have
full of jobbers, man.
beat him easily. But they chose Keith Lee. And then what's gonna happen when Jeff Hardy come back? They gonna have Cross turn around and lose again to Jeff Hardy after he just destroyed Keith Lee? That shit don't make sense. You're just gonna go right back to that? Like, that don't make sense. So that's my negative. As far as Natalya getting hurt, I have an idea for that. And this is kind of universal. I think this will help between SmackDown and Raw. I would have the administration, the GMs, go to Tamina and say, if you don't find a tag partner within the next 7 days, you're going to have to forfeit your title. And with Tamina being in that situation, Tamina calls Naomi and have Naomi help her defend the titles. And they literally run through everybody. They have a good rivalry with, let's say, Shotzi and Knox. They have a good rivalry with them. But at the end of the day, they run through everybody all the way up until Natalya gets healthy and comes back. Now you got Natalya back. She want to continue her reign that she had with Tamina. Now you got Tamina and Naomi beefing over what's going on with Tamina. Like, who's Tamina gonna side with? That's another rivalry right there that can lead on. Or you can have Tamina and Naomi join the bloodline. They all family. And they all just dominate until Natalya gets back, and then again start that rivalry between Naomi and Natalya, and then Tamina ultimately make her decision. That's a storyline right there, just like that. That's what I would do. I don't think they're gonna do it. That's what I would do personally. Just saying, it helps the Raw, it helps the women's tag division, because at least we have something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? People want to see Tamina and Naomi together and see if they're going to join the bloodline, see how Natalya is going to react. They former tag team partners anyway from Team Bad. Why not? That's one idea that I got for today. So before we get to NXT and the rest, do anybody have any ideas or a storyline that you think will help Monday Night Raw right now? Any ideas? And if you want to join in and give us your ideas, click the link and join the show. We're listening to ideas today of what you think. If you was in creative, what would you do to help Monday Night Raw right now?
The continuity between NXT and everyone else. Don't have someone come in like they don't know who they are. With Cross, they threw away his whole gimmick. They had him come out to his music with no Scarlett and everything, and we complained about that. And now they want to bring Scarlett in, hopefully, and bring him back, but a little too late for me. I mean, it'd be great to have that Cross back in the main roster.
I like that. And I think that's insane to me that WWE isn't doing that. Go back to 2019. The Survivor Series build up when you had Adam Cole you had NXT come to that episode of SmackDown when you had a bunch of them stranded over in Saudi Arabia. And with the main event being Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan, one of the best main events on the SmackDown I've seen in so long. But even before that, like, it just felt special, and NXT felt special. They had Pat McAfee there for the first time on a SmackDown, and he was telling you who these people were, like why they're a big deal.
Right.
It was getting such a massive reaction, and all of a sudden we fast forward 2 years later, and it's gone. Like none of that continuity, like Bushido was talking about. And why? I just watched a show. I just watched Dynamite on Wednesday, and they brought in Nick Gage and brought in, like, they did his entrance. They, like, kept his style of match that we'll talk about. Everything. They kept that continuity from a GCW Nick Gage, and he's not even a part of their roster. So why is it that your third brand, you can't even promote them as equal as your other two?
Man, when I tell you we on the same page tonight, Kushida and Darkness, everything y'all said, I swear I wrote down in my notes, bro. I swear. We got Alex joining the stream. What's good,
Yo.
Alex?
Yo, I'm good.
Yo, your ideas. First of all, you said you're good. I just asked that. My bad.
Yeah.
What is your ideas for making WWE better? What is SmackDown, Raw? If you got a storyline for something that you want to see, what you got?
I had a storyline like in probably like before WrestleMania I was thinking about, but like that storyline can't like work no more because Lana is no more in WWE. I mean like WWE and
He definitely.
Naomi's no more like in Raw. So my storyline was so let's go like the Hurt Business, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Hurt Business like meets up with Naomi and like yo. What's called? You know you can't what's called win with Lana, right? You can't meet your full potential with Lana. And what's called like you see what's called that happened with Bobby Lashley. Like he wasn't winning no titles and he wasn't focused on nothing like that. And what's called like and also we could ask that we could also say that to Rusev too. He never won a world title. What's called like when what's called Bobby Lashley left her. What's called he became a champion, a United States champion and a World Heavyweight champion. Like what's called and they could have Naomi like turn on Lana like probably like what's called like a couple weeks later, and then let her win the Royal Rumble. That was my opinion. Like I had that storyline way before what's called WrestleMania even happened. Like I'm not way before like 2 months, like 2 weeks before WrestleMania happened. That was my opinion right there.
I actually remember you saying that in the chat. So
yeah,
I remember
that's what I'm saying. I had everything built out. Like what's called first face Lana, then face like Rhea Ripley, something like that. Like beat Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, like cash in, and what's called be be a member of the Hurt Business. But I can't wait because Lana is no more in the company anymore. So yeah.
Alice said give SmackDown 3 hours and Raw 2 no.
I'm seeing this. That's something that I would change. Go back to only 2 hours for each show because the third hour is fucking ridiculous. We don't need 3 hours of a wrestling program. To be completely honest, my favorite era of NXT was when they were only doing 1 hour shows, because 1 hour it left you with enough to want to keep watching the show, and then it would leave you with enough of a cliffhanger every week to want to come back the next week. 2 hours, I feel like you'll get more of the same of that. When you extend it to 3 hours, you're going to get a shit ton of commercials. You're going to get a lot of drag. You're going to get a lot of filler. And that's what Raw is every week. And we're getting it from people that apparently don't know how to book a wrestling show. So it's even worse than it is. So I would just say if we were going to make changes, if we had the power, I would keep everything to a minimum of 2 hours. But I would not extend it to 3. I would get rid of the third hour completely. Because this third hour just kills me.
So see, that's like what's called like people have been talking about that for like years and stuff, but I just realized that it Raw becomes like 2 hours, Vince is losing money. So and you know how Vince is about money. So yeah.
Well, we know why it's a 3 hour show. I'm just saying. Yeah. If we're talking hypothetically, if we're talking about things that we want to change, that's something I would want to change.
I mean, I would love that change too.
So let's say SmackDown had hella commercials. They did, bro. They did. So Dark, did you have any more ideas, or what do you have right now? Do you want to? What you got?
Fix the women's division on the main roster.
Yeah, but how?
Particularly on Raw, I would go back to Money in the Bank. I wouldn't have Nikki Ash win the contract. If she did, then I would have her go on Raw and have Charlotte beat her for the suitcase. Who was the champ? Who would be the champion at that point? Then Charlotte was still the champion.
Charlotte,
so then it couldn't be her. So then I'd have Rhea. Yeah, I'd have Rhea Ripley then beat her for the suitcase, and hold on to it. not cash it in. I would have her hold on to it. I'd have Becky Lynch return on Monday because we're gonna get the rematch. That's the rematch that's happening, everybody. Charlotte and Becky, like 5 is about to happen again. So I would just have that match be at SummerSlam, and let's build up to that just right now because this division needs a shot in the arm, and all this shit right now is just bullshit, and I hate it.
So Trish said Raw would be better if Dark was coming. Yeah, fact. Fact.
Honestly, like I have like an idea, but like yeah. So I feel like there should be like one women's champion and what's called women's tag team champion. And there should be like what's called mid card champion, like for the women's division. One world champion, one mid card champion for the women's division. And like all the like SmackDown and like Raw women's division, like what's called like they could go to like both shows if they want to.
I can kind of get with that. I get with that because
see now we're going. Go ahead.
Yeah, because my idea is, first of all, if you just insist on keeping that shit 3 hours, and you're gonna mix in stuff, bring up some people from NXT. And I'm not talking about like call ups. I'm talking about like Sheamus doing his US Open challenge, and we get Bronson Reed or somebody like that coming out, or and he puts on a good ass match like what Sami Zayn did with Cena, but he loses.
Like Kevin Owens too, right?
Owens, but just bring people in, mix everybody. And this is on all shows. It's not just Raw. The people that's on main event, Ricochet and said that match they had on main event. I just watched it last night. Send them to NXT for a week or two to go at it with Austin Theory or Johnny Gargano or Swerve. Imagine if Swerve called out somebody randomly, just do an open challenge or anything, and said pop up. And we got a Swerve said match on NXT just after blue. The ratings going up. Or we got a Swerve and Ricochet match out the blue. Ratings going up. Or if let's say Cross defends his title against Joe. And Cross said, there's nobody for me to beat. Somebody from SmackDown or Raw show up to NXT.
But do you think there would be a ratings jump if you did something like that? Because
yes.
I'm saying
for NXT, yes.
Well, I'm saying more so for the fact, like with that NXT example with Swerve and Ricochet, because on the main roster, people that solely watch the main roster have been programmed to think that fucking Ricochet is a loser. Like, this guy showed the fuck out at Money in the Bank, and where has he been since then? We have not seen him on Raw at all. At all. That's what I'm saying. So would that work? Because like they program this stuff into your head to make you seem like these spectacular superstars. And that's been one of the most frustrating things for me as a fan of WWE, is that these guys have the deepest roster out of anybody. We're not even talking about the PC Center, because that place has even more people that they're not even putting on TV. And they just waste all of the talent that they have. And they don't make new stars or anything. We see the same shit.
At so some point, go ahead.
I was just saying, so like, yeah, so like, would it really help if you put somebody like a Ricochet in that spot? Because it's just like they basically tell you not to give a fuck about these guys every week.
But the thing is, Dark, it's not that freaking hard to put on a good show for the fans. Wrestling fans are so, even with the stupid internet fans, wrestling fans are not that hard to please. They just want to see effort. That's all we ask for. That's all we ask for. If you're mixing in, if you're having somebody from NXT or SmackDown just randomly pop up on Raw every now and then, challenging somebody, and let's just say they feud for a month from one pay-per-view to the next, and then it's over. Now you got somebody else mixing it in. Just give us something different. That's all we're asking for. We don't want the same shit every single week, and that's what we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so many ways you can mix it in, and I just don't understand why they won't. And it's a way you can get eyes on every show. Just, bruh, if the Usos randomly showed up on NXT and challenged Imperium or MSK, and it's not even a title match. It's just champ versus champs. We want to see who the best tag champs are. And then AJ and Almost go down there and they do a triple threat tag match, not for any belts. Just have the match. All champions fight each other at a takeover. Man, come on, man. Like it's right. The build up to it. AJ and Almost don't have shit to do right now, but keep fighting the Viking Raiders, whatever their name is. The Usos, they going up against the Mysterios. I get it, but after that, what you got?
What you got?
MSK. Who they have right now?
That's another thing too. I think that they really should think about, and I say this a lot, but they should think about putting their mid-card titles from SmackDown and Raw, putting their tag titles from SmackDown and Raw, their women's titles, their main title. They should have one of each, and then have the rosters fight for each title. Don't have two of each of these titles because there's too much shit going on now. If you have one men's title, there's so many possibilities to go with.
So before I see Max is joining the stream, I'm gonna bring you on. But finish your statement, Doug, and I'm gonna give you one more thing that I saw on main event last night that kind of pissed me off. But go ahead.
I was saying, like, think about back to I would say even back to WrestleMania when we were getting, what was it, Drew versus Lashley again, you know? And after that happened, we got them another time at Backlash. And then after that happened, we did I can't even remember what was after that, but the point I'm trying to make is there's just I can't remember who they fought at Hell in a Cell, but there was just not a lot of contenders, you know? The way to fix that is to just make that title into one. Then you can have fucking, I don't know, Drew McIntyre versus, I don't know, maybe like an Adam Cole maybe even, or something like that. You could have a Drew McIntyre versus one of the Uso twins or something. It would force people to work that much harder, and you'd be sacrificing your two brands. But at the same time, right now, do the brands even really fucking matter?
Kinda, because I would rather watch SmackDown by itself than Raw. I don't want no parts of Raw. Everything bad that's been happening, if you pay attention, it's Raw related. Even the cuts is Raw related. So the thing about putting the main titles, like one heavyweight title, one champion and all that, it's too many people for it right now. It worked in the Attitude Era because the roster it was deep, but it wasn't as many people as it is now. You think, man, come on now. Okay, so you got Roman Reigns. You know he's going to be the guy. You know he's going to be the guy.
So then make it selective then. Make it, if not for the women's and the men's main championships, make it for at least the mid-card titles and the tag titles. Especially the tag titles. Because there's not enough tag divisions in the WWE right now.
So that I agree with that. Like I said, but that goes into mixing people in from each brand. It's the same damn company, and they act like they not in the same company. So I see you, Max. I'm about to bring you in. Another thing I saw main event last night that pissed me off. So y'all remember the match on Raw a few weeks ago when Drew Gulak and Garza went at it, and Garza shoved the rose up his behind, right? So they had a match on main event, right after Money in the Bank, and I'm just now watching it. I saw it last night, and if you watch that match, you would think the way that match was booked, you would think that Garza was the babyface, and what's the name, Drew Gulak was the heel. It's like they want us to forget. We're not supposed to remember what happened just a few weeks ago. And the fans were kind of confused. They went from booing Garza in the middle of the match, at the beginning of the match, to kind of I guess we cheer for him. Because the way the match is being booked, Drew is doing all the heel stuff. So by the end of the match, they was cheering for Garza. But they was kind of confused. They was like, yo, what are we supposed to do? Because I remember Garza putting that flower up this man's behind and being a heel just a couple of weeks ago. But it's like, that's how bad creative and stuff is they expect us to forget that stuff and not remember what happened just a few weeks ago.
They treat their fan base like idiots.
Joining the stream is Max. What's good, fam?
How's it going?
Max, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
What's up, bud?
How your day going?
Oh, it's going good.
What you got? What you got to say to us? You got any ideas? You got a vent? What you got for us?
They got to open that forbidden door.
That's
the
not
biggest
happening.
problem with WWE right now is the fact that
I mean, I think they
they've
tried
had
to.
talks with NWA, they've had talks with MLW, they've had talks with New Japan, they've had talks with all these companies, and yet every time they shut the door on them. And I mean, what would you think if you saw the 10 pound of gold showed up on NXT this week?
If Nick Aldis came to fucking NXT, that'd
Nick
be
Aldis
fucking
came
lit.
and showed up and told Karrion
Hell
Kross,
yeah.
I'm better than you.
Hell yeah.
Or what would you do if Jacob Fatu showed up and told Roman, I'm the head of the table
Yeah,
with the MLW championship?
that's true.
And they've been passed up for the last 10 years. They've been passing up on all these deals with all these companies, and yet they still sit back and say, no, we got it. Well, what do you got? You know?
Well, Max, you've seen what happens with people with companies that do make deals with the WWE, like
Oh, yeah.
Progress and Evolve. WWE just takes those companies, all of their people, and then gone.
Yep. And the
Oh,
company
yeah, they did the same thing in Mexico, too, in the 90s. They did the same thing in Mexico in the 90s with AAA and CMLL. They just robbed them of all their top stars, didn't use them for anything but house shows and developmentals, and they pushed them off. I mean, you got to remember, Savio Vega in the 90s was a god in Puerto Rico and Mexico, but when they picked him up in the WWF, they made him job out to everybody and anybody, you know? And they're going to do it again if they work with one of these companies. I think that's what they don't want to do, is they don't want to put over an MLW guy like Jacob Fatu on NXT. They don't want to put over Nick Aldis, you know, over a guy like, you know, Roman Reigns on a SmackDown, because they're worried it's going to hurt their brand. I mean, Jesus Christ, guys, you've been a company, the most dominant company since the 70s. You're not hurting your brand. You're actually making your brand look good. I mean, it gets boring seeing the same people win over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of nice to see someone kind of take it to them for a minute. That's why we got excited during the Monday Night Wars, is because we saw another company finally take it to the WWE and make them look like puppets. And once again, we're having another company do it right now. Instead of doing what they did back then to kind of get their shit out of it, they're relying on, well, we have this third show that we're just going to take all this talent from and then just move it up because, you know, this third pool, this is a new fresh batch, right? No, man. I mean, some of these guys have been wrestling for 13 years in the business. I know some of these guys, and they've been wrestling for 14, 13 years in the business. They're not fresh. They're not young fish. They're not, you know, new out of the pond. They're old guys. You know, these are beat up indie veterans.
I'm telling you, we are all on the same point, because that was another statement that I wrote down. Where are the young stars at? Finn is 40.
Nowhere.
Dolph is 41. Roman's in his 30s. Cena's in his 40s.
40.
Edge is
47
something. Goldberg, Bobby
55.
Lashley.
Yeah, probably like 40 or something too.
I think like the lowest age is like 32 or something. Like,
and to be honest, you asked about the whole Garza thing. That's what they're doing with Garza. Humberto is not their Mexican face they want. They know Dominic is years away from being the Latin face of the business too. So they're looking at Garza because they know Garza coming from a wrestling family. You know how Vince is. If you come from anything that's more than two generations, you're the answer. You're the answer, even if you're not. You're the answer because I used to work with your uncle and your dad and your grandpa. They're looking at Garza as the next face of like the Latin boom coming up. But when they refuse to do an LWO, they refuse to get even a serious Latin team turning. You know, look what they did at Lucha House Party. So it's like with all these kind of things, you know, why would you want to turn Garza a face? He seemed more reactive being a heel, trying to hit on all the girls and shit and being creeper in the back than he is right now, sticking flowers in people's butts and only showing up on main event.
Right.
I mean, at least when he was being creeper guy, he was on every Monday. Now he's on main event.
Go Hawks. Appreciate the follow. Make sure you follow my guy, MC Darkness, as well on Twitch. Now, you brought up the Lucha House Party. That's another thing. Now, when a Lucha House Party was showing up on NXT for the few weeks they did, tell me that wasn't exciting.
Oh yeah, I was I was excited because I thought it was going to be like Sin Cara when they sent him back a couple years ago, and how it bumped that character back into front line. I mean, we all made Sin Cara into a joke. We all laughed at Sin Cara. He was the botch king. But then when he went to NXT, you guys can't say that Sin Cara was running NXT with the Lucha House Party down, Lucha Dragons. That shit was not incredible. Lucha Dragons was sick in NXT. I mean, we all marked out for the Lucha Dragons.
They was good on the main roster for a little while too.
Going to see Sin Cara in live person before this was like, oh shit, is he gonna make the trampoline jump?
Yeah.
Is he gonna botch that jump rope? Is he gonna he fell, he landed on his head. It's over.
Go Hawks, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it, man.
And see, you say open the forbidden door. They don't even open their own damn doors in their own company. It's
They did. That is the problem. They did. And like I said before, 2019, they were doing everything right. You could have had NXT be that brand to come in. If you don't want to work with other companies, fine. But you have a third brand that you could have done that with. And for some reason, these guys are acting like NXT doesn't exist now. They've gone back to their old way of thinking, and it does not make any type of sense. It just lowers the value of NXT, and it makes things worse for them. And it shouldn't be. NXT is a great product. It's your best product. So why are you downplaying it like you are?
And that's,
you really can't blame Moose now for weeks ago saying that he turned down WWE, telling them, well, show me what you guys will be like in a year.
Moose
not where I'm at in a year, because he knows if you guys are going to treat your NXT stars like this, what would make Moose sign with him a month ago, and all of a sudden he'd be the one jobbing out every week to this person and that person? You know what I'm saying?
I wish I would see that big old guy, athletic guy, jobbing out to some nobody. I ain't gonna say nobodies, but just jobbing, period.
Moose jobbing out to Jeff Hardy would be a tragedy.
That would happen.
Oh man. So that's Raw. Because we're still on Raw. I guess we'll get into NXT. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna just give you the rundown of the show. I'm pretty sure everybody has seen it by now. If you haven't, I really don't know what to tell you at this point. Quick rundown. Let's get into it. And it's not even in real order. I just wrote them down in notes. So just to start it off and cut it short, Samoa Joe came to the ring. He resigned as the co-general manager, whatever you want to call it, the assistant general manager. And
like the bodyguard, I think.
Yeah, he's officially challenging Cross for the NXT championship at NXT TakeOver, which is after SummerSlam for whatever reason this year. So we got Joe making his in-ring return. Shout out to that. Then we got Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. Physical match against Ciampa and Thatcher. Pete and Oney Lorcan takes the win in that. Dakota Kai attacks Raquel Gonzalez. Finally. So shout out to that. And now Dakota is number one contender for the women's NXT championship. And I'm gonna give you an early prediction. I think she's gonna win. So then you had Hit Row. They lost to Imperium thanks to Elgato Phantasma, which is setting up. I forgot Alex is a Hit Row fan over here. He's going crazy. But that's setting up a good match and rivalry and a feud with Hit Row and Phantasma. So I'm good with that. Then you had Adam Cole. You had funny skits with LA Knight and what's his name? Cameron Grimes throughout the show. It was pretty funny, very entertaining. Those two together are hilarious, so I appreciate that. And then you had Adam Cole in the main event defeat Bronson Reed, and he got attacked. And I mean, basically, Kyle O'Reilly gave him the same thing that he received when Adam Cole attacked him, and basically gave him a brain bust on the steel steps. And it was a lot of boos in the arena. Shockingly, it was a lot of boos in the arena. So that's NXT in a nutshell. Giving you good and bad, and let's keep it going. Who want to start?
Max, you can go ahead. Start.
I'd say the biggest plus of the whole thing is the return of the big man. Them getting their big man back from injury. What's his name? I forgot. I just
Joe.
No.
Rich Holland.
Holland,
Yeah.
Holland, yeah,
Holland,
Holland.
yeah.
Oh
Ridge
yeah,
Holland.
yeah.
Him coming back, that is huge for them because I mean, with Karrion Kross going up to the main event right now, they don't have a monster. You know, we also know that a lot of the big guys are going up to the main roster soon. They've all been doing dark matches and everything else. Them getting Ridge Holland back, that is big for them because you can see them build the next maybe year that he's down there off of this guy. So that right there, when I saw that impressed me a lot. I also liked I'm not gonna lie, I like this dark side of Kyle O'Reilly too right now. I like this edgier, rougher, meaner Kyle O'Reilly that we're seeing right now. I'm not really feeling this whole people feeling sorry for Adam Cole right now because he got his ass beat.
Right.
That's the typical WWE fans. I heard the boos at the end and I was kind of like, wait. He almost ended this man's life. And yet you're all booing him now. Like, all right, this isn't right. But I think they're gonna have Joe lose.
Nope.
To be honest with you.
Yeah,
because WWE doesn't give us what we want. We want Joe to be the champion.
Vince is taking Cross, so Cross is losing.
I mean, I really hope Cross loses, but I could also see Cross taking that title on Raw next few weeks also and just keep jobbing the hell out too. Like
Triple H would not allow it. Now that's one thing I know for a fact. Triple H would not allow it. He will fight Vince to death for that. He's not taking that title.
I really hope that's the case because right now, the more I watch NXT, I get excited about certain people, and it makes me scared because the more I hear the crowd reacting in a way that I know makes WWE excited, I get worried. Are we going to have too quick of a push? Are we going to see someone just get totally fed just everything and anything too fast? I mean, Ridge Holland's one guy right now. I hope they do a slow burn for that guy and not just have him run through Cole, Riley, the whole roster. Because what do you do then? In 6 months, we're going to be doing the same conversation right now with this guy. Same thing with Karrion Kross conversation. We're going to have it right now with Ridge Holland in 6 months if they don't slow down on these guys. And that's what with NXT, I get that you have 2 hours to do a show, but I mean, also with some of these guys, I mean, we've seen people get fed week in and week out to these guys. And then what does it do? Nothing materializes from it. The same champions are the same champions. Nothing's coming of it,
But you know why? It's because Triple H is moving everything so fast right now with these people. Because something I said a few months ago, he doesn't know when Vince is going to take somebody. So he's trying to do everything he can as fast as he can, and it's hurting him. But I get why he's doing it. He don't want to do a slow build up anymore because Vince will take him in the middle of a freaking storyline, like the whole build up to bring Tegan Knox back, and as soon as you brought her back, Vince took her. So storyline gone down the toilet, just like that.
I literally say all the time, it's just the right hand being out of sync with the left hand. In terms of main roster and NXT,
I mean, I'm already hearing
a lot worse.
I'm already hearing rumors of Dakota Kai versus Tegan Knox on the main roster is what they want to have a feud for coming up this winter.
Why?
I'm like, we saw that for how many months?
Oh, if it goes on the main roster, we're gonna see it for even more.
Exactly, but they think because nobody knows NXT, they won't remember that feud that just happened on the main roster, even though we're going to be sitting here going, they just had this feud a year ago down in NXT.
That's the thing, Max. That first sentence, they think that nobody knows NXT. Like, y'all really don't have faith? Like, man. Like,
but
that
it's helping.
Is just crazy, man.
It's helping because views dropping, bro. It's helping. Whatever they doing on the main roster is really messing with NXT. I hate it for Triple H. I hate it for Shawn Michaels. I just hate it, bro, because it's not fair to them what they're doing to NXT. And NXT has still been their best brand and put on the best week-to-week show for the most part.
Oh,
every now and then, SmackDown, edge them as far as WWE product, but the most consistent show is NXT, hands down, for WWE.
This recent amount of like NXT roster grabs that we've been seeing to the main roster kind of reminds me of the Legends Night things. How we got the one night where they would just bring in a bunch of legends to spike the ratings. It's like we're just seeing like a panic mode where it's just like, oh, things are starting to get a little stale. Take this guy. He's the champion? Yeah, bring him. We'll have him lose. We'll bring out Jeff Hardy. He'll come out to no more words, and we'll have him lose to him. But he'll be on the show, and people know him. We'll get a pop. We'll get a rating bump. It's just like fucking Jesus Christ. It's like we need a fucking a ratings bump before we go to live crowds. Let's bring out Tegan Knox Knox and Shotzi. Yeah, bring them out. No, we won't tell people, but bring them. They'll know who it is. It'll spike the numbers. It's so
I mean, people
stupid.
legit thought this week that Jeff Hardy was going to show up on NXT to get in carrying across this. I'm like,
they had to reshoot. They had to reshoot last week's angle.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because
So why
people
would
were
they send
chanting
Cross
Jeff
down
Hardy.
to NXT? They wouldn't. That's why I'm like, I mean, Jeff Hardy. They're like, they kept saying Hardy might show up. People were saying, well, if Hardy shows up in NXT, they're not going to do that because
should,
Vince
though.
doesn't see
He
NXT
should.
on their level, and sending Jeff Hardy to NXT would admit it that they're on their level. He's not going to do that shit.
But he should. That's what I was
absolutely.
saying earlier. He should. You talking about a
Absolutely.
forbidden door? You got 3 different brands that you can have your own forbidden door and put on hella matches. Imagine Adam Cole versus Seth Rollins in a match. I mean, I'm not even gonna say no more matches because I'm gonna get mad. But just that alone, Adam Cole, Seth Rollins, bad. I want to see it. I want to see it.
We've seen it. It ended in disqualification.
We did. We did. We did.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Monday
I love
Night
how
Raw, baby. Woo!
I love how Bobby's almighty and Roman's the head of the table, but no one wants to talk about a man who's been champion for 400 days plus.
Bruh. And then the fact that when they fought each other, Bobby beat him.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to talk about Walter. We don't talk about him. He's in a world that doesn't exist. But
That
you know,
is crazy.
Boy, you definitely don't hear. shit
Don't
about
even
NXT.
get me started. I have the biggest fear
Oh my
that
god.
they're either gonna put Walter and Dragunov in the beginning or the middle of Takeover. That needs to main event. There is no, I'm telling you, if this doesn't main event, my second concern is that they're not gonna let them go 100 like they did in the UK.
So okay, so
Bro,
Takeover. We saw now. Come on, Darkness. Ease up on NXT. This not the main roster because when Pete Dunne really got his shine was in the Takeover match versus Tyler.
Tyler Bate.
Yes. And how long was that match? That was like a 35-40 minute long match. That was a long match. So they get they shine on Takeover. So I'm not nervous about that. It's not gonna be main event. I'm gonna tell you that now. That's not happening. Joe is gonna take the title in the main event.
That's trash. You can't. Oh God, that's also Karrion Kross too. Like I don't think you can't put a Karrion Kross match in the main event when Walter and Dragunov are there. My opinion, if I was booking the show, I would make that judgment call. I understand putting your title in the main event. I do understand that, but
it's the return of Samoa Joe. That's the biggest thing on that show. Period. No matter who he fight, the return of Samoa Joe is the biggest thing on that show. How long? That's the biggest thing on that show. I understand you love UK. I understand. I get it. I'm with you.
No. I'm
in Walter's face by the end of that pay-per-view. Then we're talking money. But
the next feud,
once again, what we want.
I can tell you now, the next feud is going to be Joe take that title, and it's going to be Joe versus Pete Dunne.
Oof. Yeah, I can see that coming. Yeah, I can see that coming. They've been building that Oscar match for like weeks. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just what it is. So, Alex, what you got about NXT? Good and bad.
So let me look at my phone. What's called Tommaso versus let me see. The tag team match with Tommaso and Pete Dunne. It was a good match. I liked it. That's a good. Let me see. Samoa Joe segment. Yeah, that's another good. Let me see. Carmelo Hayes. It was called for the NXT breakout tournament. The last time they had that breakout tournament, did it feel like bigger than this though? Like I just feel like this breakout tournament ain't really doing nothing in my opinion.
I disagree.
It's the arena, man.
I disagree.
It's the crowd, bro.
The crowd is, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I know a lot of the people that are in here. Like Josh Briggs and Carmelo Hayes, I've seen both of them wrestle before, so seeing them on this show was fucking solid. I thought that match was really, really dope. I'll get to my the
match was good.
I'll let you go.
I'm just saying, I feel like what's called the last one felt bigger than this, in my opinion. I don't know.
It had a
And
bigger
what's
build
called-
up. I get you. I get you on
Yeah.
that.
okay.
Yeah.
So Dakota Kai turning on Raquel Gonzalez, it was good, but it was good, but like man, I wanted them to be tag team champions again, but I understand where they're going, you know. But it's still I give it a what's called good. The Casey's versus the on Robert Stone. I thought what's called Robert Stone was gonna get what's called like the Robert Stone brand was gonna also get a W. Also, I think Dope thought that too, but like they lost. But I don't know how I
Yeah.
feel about that. That's like mid to me, like mid.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say nothing about it.
Yeah.
I left off.
Imperium versus Hero. Man. I don't like. I
Get
was
over
called.
it.
That's
Get
yeah.
over
That's a bad for me because I need Hero to win every single match. I know I'm biased, but it's whatever. It's my opinion. And Bronson Reed versus Adam Cole. It was a good match. Yeah, I was called. It's a good. And it was called. That I think Kyle O'Reilly interfered, right? Yeah, that was another good too.
Yeah.
So almost everything was a good except for the hit row and the Robert Stone thing was a mid.
All right, Bushido, what you got?
Well, I'll keep this short and sweet. I caught highlights because we got like 5-6 days of wrestling every week now.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm doing load management and just catching highlights just to ease my mind. I got Joe coming back as my highlight and Kyle O'Reilly going a little crazy at the end of the night. So those are my big 2 pluses, and I saw highlights, so they couldn't make it any better than that. So it was short and sweet for me. I'm actually going to step out after my talking point right here.
All right, cool.
All right,
cool.
Bushido, man. Thanks for coming through.
I'll still be on the street. Well, I'll still be on Twitch, but I got to step out.
All right, fam. Appreciate you as always, man.
I'll see you.
Thanks for coming by, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, go ahead, Dart. What you got?
For the opening, I have for the good, I have the opening tag match. I thought Ridge Holland's return was a positive. Also, I just noted that it was funny that he's working with the person that got him injured.
Right.
I thought that was really weird, and they didn't address it or anything. So maybe we'll
Wait,
get
who got
some type of
injured?
exclamation.
Wait, who got injured? Only Lurkin or Pete Dunne?
Lorcan.
Only Lorcan.
Oh,
Lorcan, yeah, he was catching Lorcan from a suicide dive, and then he just destroyed his leg.
Yeah, this is my first
So-
time seeing this guy on TV.
Yeah.
I did not know he existed.
Yeah. So hopefully they address it. If not, then it's just kind of funny to me. The Joe segment, I thought was good. Whose phone is that?
My fault.
That's Alex.
Wait, I'm gonna come back real quick. I just need to mute these real quick.
All right.
All right. The Joe segment, I thought it was good. I'm not excited for their match at all. It could be good as long as it's physical. I'll be all set with it. But I honestly think that
You ready for the street fight rule? You ready for that street fight rule that's going to come next week? 'Cause
the
you know they're going to turn it into a street fight.
or something. I
So
think
Joe
that
can wear some shorts and a t-shirt, so that way he can just get down. Because they're going to have to make it no DQ, some kind of street fight rule, something for that fight.
something in order to, because Walter and Dragunov are on the show. It's just like if these guys are gonna go out and have the same match or better than what they had before, and they're not in the main event, you've got to help out this match. I'm just saying. I really think that this match should main event, and I think they need to make a judgment call. And they said they want to put this on TakeOver to get more eyes on it. Shawn Michaels said that himself. I was making fun of that. Shawn Michaels was just like, we think this match needs to be seen by the whole world. I was like, oh, so if it's on NXT UK, nobody's gonna watch it. Pretty much is what that was in minutes of there. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was about to say he's pretty much telling you that a lot of people don't watch UK. So
if you're gonna take this match, give it the amount of hype and respect it deserves. People were excited to see this match 2 weeks ago. Put this match in the main event. Just give NXT UK this shine, just this once. That's all I want to see. Josh Briggs, the LA Knight Grime segment was dope. I thought that was really funny throughout the night. Josh Briggs and Carmelo Hayes was awesome. Throughout the match, I was just like, I've definitely seen this Josh Briggs guy before. His name sounded familiar and everything. And on Flashback Friday, I played a match from the promotion in my hometown, Limitless Wrestling, that I was at. You can see me in the crowd watching a Fatal 4-Way with Josh Briggs. He just had longer hair, which is why I didn't recognize him. These two had a really fire match. And I'm glad that Carmelo Hayes went over. Trey Baxter is going to be having a match next week, so I'm hoping that he wins his match. I really want to just get those two in the finals. Dakota turning was dope. They decided to finally pull the trigger, and I'm happy about that. Near the end, it became pretty clear what was going on, especially when they, what's her name? Gonzalez was posing with the title, and Dakota Kai was completely out of frame. So you kind of knew something was going to happen. But I'm glad that they decided to pull the trigger. You know, they've been really good about just holding off on this, and I think at this takeover it's the right time. So, and I am with you, Dope. I hope Dakota wins the title. I don't know what it's been about Gonzalez's title reign. It hasn't really done too much for me. It's nothing to complain about. It's not a bad title reign, but it's nothing like
special.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's very lackluster, this run for her.
Yeah. Casey and Caden Carter versus the Robert Stone brand. I put that as a positive because I thought that Casey and Carter, they continue to wow me. These two are a really solid tag team. I think they should be the tag team champions. And the stuff with the Way, setting up for that match next week with Johnny and what was his name? Loomis, Dexter Loomis. Yeah. That the Way continues to be a very, very a positive for me every week. These guys are just their chemistry together. Everything seems like it's just off the rip, and they just have a really good time, and it shows coming across the screen. The only two things I had as mid were the Robert Strong interview with Malcolm Bivens and what's his name, Stu Bennett. I thought that was just okay. Malcolm Bivens. Yeah. Malcolm Bivens did a good job. I liked him talking, but everything else I just thought was kind of eh. And the Hit Row Imperium match with the interference by Legado del Fantasma at the end was just okay to me.
Okay. So I'm just now getting a notification on my Twitter. Shout out to Get the Tables, man, for another sub. Get the Tables always showing love. That's another podcaster, another streamer on Twitch. Make sure you follow him, Get the Tables. It was like 20 minutes ago, and I'm just now seeing it. So my bad, Get the Tables, for just now seeing it. I did not get the notification until just now. So shout out to you, man. I hope everything is good with you. We got to get him on the show. We got to get him on the show. He said recently he's trying to get us on the show as well. So we got to work something out ASAP.
Right on.
And that way we can all get on the show and just go edit and vent about, because it's funny, man. Like, Get the Tables, he is hilarious, and we agree on a lot of stuff. Now you mentioned Austin Theory and Indy and the Way. I'm getting nervous, bruh. I am getting nervous. I feel like they're about to call Austin up, and
he was at that SmackDown.
I feel like they're about to
pre-show. So
yeah, they're about to break them up. They're about to bring Austin back. They're about to bring him back to the main roster. For what? Why they're rushing it back? I have no idea. But maybe because Vince say that this guy's popular and he's actually good and he's in the faction. I got an idea. Let me call his ass up.
Well, remember a month ago, Vince went down to NXT and they said he was scouting talent and he found a handful that he wanted to pull up. So, I mean, you gotta imagine that's who's getting them the fast track is going to be.
See, I thought it was the PC. I didn't realize it was actual NXT people.
He went to he went to the wellness center, the training center, and he checked out a lot of NXT people. He checked out Raquel, he checked out Austin, he checked out a lot of the people that he wanted to see, who he's been hearing about because he's never seen them really firsthand. And that's sad when you're the owner of the company and yet you haven't even seen firsthand some of your biggest talents and your most popular brand right now. Like,
bruh.
And for the fact that he's over here, I'm going to put pulling up this person and that person. They should have been pulled up during the Thunderdome era, and we would have gave more of a shit. But now it just seems like it's just a panic reaction to everything going on in the wrestling world right now, where it's like me and Dark have been saying for 3 weeks now, 2 weeks now, just amazing wrestling. And what do? They went into freak out mode and just start pulling up all these NXT guys now. And Austin Theory is going to be one of those guys who's just going to be a freak reaction that they're going to freak out and just need to pull him up.
And then he's going to be on main event. Use the guys you have.
Yeah.
It's so many matches that can be made on the main roster already. And like people complain about Roman. One thing I would say about Roman has fought a lot of people in his run. You got Rey Mysterio, you got Edge, you got Daniel Bryan, you got Jey Uso, you got was it Braun Strowman? I believe at one point he beat Braun Strowman, he beat the Fiend.
He beat
the title.
Braun and the Fiend in the same night.
Yeah,
to get the title. Yeah,
and then it was supposed to be Finn, and that didn't happen. But Roman has fought a lot of people. It's not like Roman is Kevin Owens. That was a hell of a feud that they had. Even though people start getting I'm like, why are you getting mad at this that they're having a rematch? Like the story. Anyway, I'm not gonna get on the fans because that one pissed me off. Because I'm like, yo, they actually telling the story to why Kevin Owens is actually getting a rematch and getting another rematch. Unlike Drew, who's losing clean to Bobby and getting a rematch. They was actually telling the story. Kevin Owens was getting screwed match after match. It made sense. And people was, oh my God, this is a rematch. I'm tired of seeing Kevin Owens and this bullshit. I was like, shut up. It's a damn storyline. They were telling the story. Are you fucking serious right now? They're telling the story. This is not Drew McIntyre saying, yep, I lost. I want another rematch. Sure, here you go. It's a big ass difference.
It's like the same people who get mad at seeing Sammy versus Kevin. And they're like, oh, they fight all the time. That's the story.
That's the story.
That's the story. No matter where they go, it could be 2, 3, 4 years later down the road. You bump me in catering, we're throwing it, dude. We're throwing hands right now. We're getting at it. And
they'll be best friends again and they fight again.
That these are the feuds. This is what this is always going to happen. We're always going to see Sammy versus Kevin. We're always going to see these feuds happen because these are hatred feuds. These are, feuds back in the days. Every time Hogan crossed Macho, oh, you knew it was going down.
Right.
You knew. They're cross looks, bullying up, bow chest. They do the same shit nowadays. It's just fans are saying they're getting tired of it. Well, it doesn't matter because guess what? Those two hate each other no matter what, forever.
Exactly. They're going to be best friends for a minute, then they go hate each other again.
Yep, exactly.
Just like Sasha and Bailey. So
dead on.
But Dark, you got anything else on NXT?
No. It was a good show. I had the Samoa Joe stuff spoiled for me, so I didn't really. Nothing was too. It was a good show, but I didn't have nothing. No big news came out of it for me because I already knew about that. But,
okay.
Yeah.
It was a good tape show.
Yes,
yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
And they ratings did exactly what I thought they was gonna do on Sci-Fi. It dropped big time. So I hate it for them.
How did they promote it like big that they were gonna be on Sci-Fi that week?
No, they just kind of told you the week before that we're on Sci-Fi. And I literally almost forgot, and I found Sci-Fi at the last minute.
Yeah.
Tuesday, I was like, oh shit, let me find it. So, and a lot of people was online was like, is NXT not on today? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like people forgot. So I including myself.
Yeah,
and I'm an NXT head.
Facebook page that was at like 7 a.m. that says watch NXT on Sci-Fi.
Yeah,
got to everybody, but
yeah,
they don't realize that one post all day didn't reach everybody. It just reached those people.
My guy, Push Play the DJ. Welcome, my guy. Appreciate you joining. Push Play. If you want to get on the show, I'm gonna send a link in the chat specifically for you. If you want to join the show, we got Alex joining back too. Welcome back, Alex, to the show. But yeah, Push Play. If you want to get on the show, please click that link and get on the show and vent. And make sure you follow my guy Push Play on Twitch and Twitter. Make sure you follow my guy. He's one of the very first guys that I followed on Twitch when I created my Twitch account. He said, "Can you get on with no cam?" Nah, Push, they want to see you, man. Go do your hair, edge yourself up. You do what you got to do, man. We gonna be in here for a little bit. But so my good and bad. I told you about Joe. What is this screen doing right now? It's not the screen I want. There we go. I told you about Joe calling out Cross. I think Joe is gonna win. Cross is getting called up. It's just what it is, and I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm good with Joe taking the title from Cross and seeing what he could do with NXT and seeing if he could boost the ratings, being back in the ring. And it's matchups for Joe. It's matchups for Joe that I want to see, that I might get to see, that I never thought I would see. I might actually get to see him and Adam Cole in NXT. I might get to see him and Kyle and Pete in NXT. Never thought I would see it, especially after he got fired. So I'm good with it. Dakota Kai finally turning on Gonzalez. Happy for her. I think Raquel gets called up to Raw soon. That's why I think Dakota is winning. And I'm good with that. Raw needs it. Raw needs a boost and a shot in the ass to their women's division on Raw. Even though they have a lot of people, they just don't use them. They just don't use them. If you watch Raw, you would think they have 4 women on the whole entire Raw women's roster. And they really have Alexa Bliss, they have Piper, they have Charlotte, they have Nikki. I almost said Cross. They got Nikki.
Rhea Ripley.
We're saying they got Rhea. They just traded Naomi to SmackDown, and then they have Aaliyah from NXT.
Wait, is it confirmed yet?
What
you say?
I said, is it confirmed that she's in what's called on Raw?
Yeah,
SmackDown,
Aaliyah is on Raw, and
I thought you were talking about Naomi going.
Naomi is on SmackDown. You still got Shayna Baszler. You still got.
Aaliyah was when she part of that trade with NXT.
Yeah. And then you still got Shayna Baszler. You still got Nia Jax. You got plenty of women to mix in, but you just choose not to.
But Becky Lynch is coming back.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So this means that's gonna throw a plan in all of those things, or it's just gonna throw like a pin in all of those plans, because we're gonna get a bunch of rematches between Charlotte and Becky.
I still think Raquel gets called up. They might put in the tag team with Rhea and have them go out to the tag champs, which, hey, whatever.
I've thought that too, because they've always, those two always, they're weightlifting partners, they're buddies, they're best friends, and those two are built a lot alike. Fans like them a lot. I mean, I was thinking the same thing, like Raquel and Rhea as a tag team. That's pretty dangerous. That's
and that goes back
mean squad.
And that goes back to a thing that I think would help WWE is if they had Naomi take Natalia's spot with Tamina and they run through everybody until they run up to people like them. Like, it's so much that could be done. It's so simple. It really is. That's what pissed me off. Because if it was hard, I'd be like, all right, I get it. It's hard. But stop. It is not that hard with all the talent you have on that roster that you're paying, that you're still paying. It is not that hard. But they just choose not to do it. Oh, and we got my guy Push Play in the building. The 4K camera. The professional sounding.
What's up?
The king himself. My guy Push Plays in the building. Welcome. I finally got Push Play on the stream, yo. We finally got Push Play on the podcast. Listen. First of all, how your day going? I know you said you've been traveling and stuff. What you got?
Yeah, I just I kid you not, I just woke up like 5 minutes ago. I was in Texas. I was in Austin for like the whole weekend, and then I got back this morning and I was sleeping. So
I was gonna say you look a little tired right now.
A little, a lot.
Hey man, we definitely appreciate you, man, just for showing love as always and coming through, man. So
man.
I don't know if you want to vent.
I was gonna say, for those that don't know, Push Play one of the OGs. He's been doing the wrestling content back before wrestling content was real big. So
facts.
Make sure to go give him some love for sure.
So I don't know if you want to vent, give ideas about what you think should happen for WWE. I know you said you had a Bray Wyatt story.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I got some. I mean, I had some thoughts when I saw the news. You know, when I saw the news that Bray got released. You know, it was mixed feelings. I was happy because, you know, now he can actually go and do, you know, do as he please if he's in the right mental state of mind. I feel like a lot of people like throwing blame first before actually finding out the real reasons. And then I read today that him and Vince's relationship got kind of strained, which is not surprising because it's Vince, and like whenever idea doesn't really pan out the way that he wants to, he just lets it hang out and dry. So but I know everybody's like, oh, let Bray go run the Dark Order. Don't do that shit. Just let Bray form an alliance. He can get Bo, he can get Braun, he can get Malachi Black, and have them be like the next major like faction rival to the Dark Order.
Right.
Bray could have a good feud with Hangman Page. He could have a great feud with Uno. And I feel like you can form a strong alliance around him. And AEW is good on giving creative control to a lot of people. So I think it could work best. But honestly, Bray could go anywhere and he's going to be a megastar. He can go to Impact. He can go to AEW. He can go to New Japan. And I think he'll be fine anywhere he goes. Personally.
Well, the whole thing about him making him the leader of the Dark Order, I don't get it. I was at work today and my coworker was telling me the same thing. So I showed him the entrance from just this Wednesday when they had their elimination match. After I showed him that, it's just like, if you watch that, like Hangman is basically the new leader of the Dark Order. And with all of the story that's been going on in the past, it doesn't make any sense to just bring somebody like, God bless Bray Wyatt too. He's a great character. The Fiend is awesome, but it would make no sense at all to bring somebody just cold into the Dark Order like that, just because like they kind of fit the same aesthetic. Like, I just couldn't get into that either. So
I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, if you're just gonna insert Bray into it, it's like you're kind of pushing Heyman aside, and it's like Heyman is like, let's be real, like they're already launch padding Hangman to be the top guy in AEW, and like and Dark Order is just that major support system. They're like, yeah, you're the leader without making us the leader because we're giving respect to Brody, and I'm with that 100%. And I feel like and everyone's trying to put that in the same run with Bray. But I'm like, no, like let Bray be evil. And and people who know me, I'm a heel type of guy. Like faces are cool, but I feel like everything gets better when a person turns heel. And I feel like Bray is better when he's evil. So I feel like if you could make him like the main like nemesis to the Dark Order, I think you have long-term storytelling that can go on for months. If you let Bray have, the creative control that he wants, that he should have had in WWE, I think that it'll be very, very successful anywhere he goes.
Yeah. I'm already irritated with the Bray to AEW bullshit. I'm sick of that. Every time somebody get fired, AEW, come on, man. Let that man rest first.
I'm with you because it's like, sometimes you got to put some respect on some of these other, these other promotions, man. I mean, MLW is good. ROH is getting better.
I mean,
like
to be honest, too, they said it was also his choice. He requested to be released. His mental health right now is not 100%. They said since the passing of Brody, he hasn't been 100% mentally. He's actually asked for less time since Brody's death. And I don't think going to AEW would be really, I mean, how do you go to a company that your best friend used to work for and hear everybody, oh man, Brody used to, I mean, it would be hard. It'd be really hard. So he needs to mentally first get his head together. I've also heard too, I've read some things that, Big Swole has Crohn's disease. She has that health issue for last, for a few years now. They've said Bray has been dealing with the same thing, like an IBS kind of Crohn's disease, where that's why he's been losing the weight. That's why he's been having a new diet, new living style, new everything. He had a health scare. So, I mean, first he needs to get mentally and physically healthy before we can talk about where he's going to go, because if he goes to AEW right now, it's going to be another situation where he shows up for 2 months, a month, and then he's gone for a year. And we're just like, well, what the hell happened? Like, it's better that he takes the year off, take that time to get his shit together, because, in a year time, who knows? He might come up with something evil, more evil than the Fiend. Or he might just want to be Bray Wyatt with some dreadlocks, and he just might be Watunda. We don't know,
Yeah, no, that's real. That's true. I agree with all of those.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, everybody is having this knee-jerk reaction. What pissed me off is when they said budget cuts. I don't like that excuse. Just say what it is, honestly. But If it is budget cuts and that's what they telling the talent, that's just BS. You know what I'm saying? So this knee-jerk reaction, that's why I said Mickey James' tweet was
But it's like those companies.
irresponsible.
He didn't quit. We fired him. And
Yeah,
it's like,
like
nah. He walked into the office and said, "Yo, I'm
exactly.
going home."
And
That's
here's
not
what
what
I'm
they're going to
saying.
tell corporate.
Everybody talking
Budget
about
cuts
AEW this and this and that. I think he's going back eventually to WWE when it's all said and done. Mickey James' tweet, like I said earlier, was irresponsible. Now you got people attacking Alexa Bliss online for nothing.
Well, people were attacking Alexa Bliss like as soon as the news
Absolutely.
came out because they're like, "Oh, well, how are you?" You know, it's like, "Well, damn, how you have this creative genius that Bray gives you, and then you just give it to somebody else, and you just let it fall by, you know, you let it fail on his end." And it's like y'all make it seem like Alexa complained to get that role, you know. And I mean, now you already saw she went back to being private on Twitter. She went back to being private on social media because all that bullying crap sucks. You know, and the IWC is high key trash. It's always been trash because whenever something doesn't go their way, you know, they get upset and they start, you know, they want to start pissing out all this nonsense and bullshit. And they want to start crying like, "Oh, well, why didn't you do this? And why are you giving it to this? And, you know, it's probably this person's fault." Or they complained about something. Like the IWC fucking sucks.
Facts.
They suck ass. And like, honestly, like they are some of the worst group of
they don't
fans,
understand,
and it sucks that they have to be aligned to wrestling.
They don't understand business. That's the thing. All of us are sports fans of other things. You know how reconstruction contracts, reconstructing stuff like that. What do? They release them from their contracts so they can re-sign them to a contract that is either less money for more years for all that kind of stuff. Now, Braun Strowman being released, guess what? They got to wait for the 90 days before they can offer a new contract because in MLB baseball, you can't offer a new contract until a certain time date of the year because of regulations of contracts. This is just standard procedures. This is how you do it. Braun knows he's going. They already have the new Braun t-shirts out. The Braun shirts are already out. I mean, they already made the new what's her name? Zelina Vargas. They made her toy 2 months before she came back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's deals like this that let us know that they're not being released. I mean, it is budget cuts. That's why they're released generally, is because they need to reform. Bray got a fat contract over the COVID time. Yeah. Braun got a big contract over the COVID time. I mean, all these guys got fat contracts because they didn't know how long this was going to last, and they didn't want them to run to AEW. So they gave them these big contracts. Now they're getting released from these contracts. I wouldn't be surprised if they start back up again in 60 to 90 days.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing. And also, and let me go to the business sense for it. Generally, fiscal years start July 1st, and you saw the influx of talent that was getting released prior to the end of that fiscal year. They were just balancing their books. That's all that they're doing. They're balancing their books, and they're like, "All right, cool. After July 1st, here, let's renegotiate."
Being on the road,
we don't want to let you go. We're just trying to save you some money. We're just trying to save some money here and there, but we're gonna renegotiate afterwards.
Being on the road is expensive. It's a lot of money for them, and to give a contract like Braun Strowman to a guy who's only going to be used for 20 minutes, 10 minutes on TV, you know. Yeah. Braun was all over our TV for a full year during COVID because he was getting paid to be on our TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Now with them being back on the road and stuff, they're not going to pay a guy who's going to go to Tupelo, Mississippi to take a fall to, you know, millions of dollars, because that's what WCW did. You know, I saw it firsthand.
Let's be honest. Like, how many times whenever we saw Brock, when Brock will come do 5 minutes on Raw or 5 minutes at a pay-per-view, what was the common consensus on Twitter? Damn, how much are they paying this man for 5 minutes? How much are they paying this man for 10 minutes to be on air?
A lot.
Growing up, I always wondered why Hogan's matches were only 3 minutes, and I found out when I got older, it's because he charges by the minute, baby.
Yeah.
Hey. So we got somebody that just joined. Danny sitting there talking about WWE doesn't have a huge start today. You can't be serious, my guy.
Nah, yeah. You're bugging.
You're IWC troll, or is that what you're telling me?
They got Roman Reigns. What are you talking about?
I mean, like, I just wanted y'all to see that.
You take Roman Reigns out the picture, and there's still bigger stars. You can take Roman Reigns out the picture. Roman Reigns is hot right now,
Seth
and he's
Rollins.
hot, you know. Yeah, like he's been hot he's been consistent for the whole year.
On AEW right now who sell more t-shirts than the New Day or Roman Reigns right now.
come on now. There's a ton of huge stars. Seth has still remained consistent, right? Seth has remained consistent. I mean, hell, as much as I don't like the gimmick, Riddle is very consistent as well. You know,
like the gimmick.
Man, like, look, it's if that's him acting like himself, more power to him.
But I mean, him, bro.
I think it is good. Yeah. Have you seen him? Have you seen him on Ultimate Fighter? Like, this is how this guy is, like, all the time.
Like that's
back
him.
when he was in UFC. This is this guy.
I forgot the name of that show, that special they did about him.
He's
and
the
his
stoner
family.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what he is. You know, in the 90s, they had the beer drinking. You know, hell yeah, I'll kick your ass with my pickup truck. Riddle is the modern day stoner with a scooter who's like, bro, what's up, man? Like, it's just over his shit, man. I mean, he's the normal guy. He's the average Joe.
So let's keep it moving. That's it for NXT. Good show. Dark, what you got for AEW?
All right. So AEW started off hot this week. They had the 5-on-5 elimination match with the Dark Order and the Elite. Both of them came out with some really good entrances. The Dark Order came out as a team, just with, like I said before, Hangman Page coming out in the center. Really dope. And then the Elite came out as the Elite Squad, dressed up in Space Jam jerseys. They had fucking jock jams playing in the background. It's just goofy as hell. Match starts. The first elimination came when Alex Reynolds clotheslined Luke Gallows over the top rope, but got caught with a roll-up by Anderson. Second elimination came when the Dark Order just started killing Anderson with strikes, and Uno and Grayson hits Anderson with the fatality, tying it up 4-4. Grayson and Gallows were both eliminated after fighting on the outside, and Grayson hit a crossbody from a guardrail, making it 3-3. Uno was eliminated after a V-trigger one-winged angel combination by Omega. We got back from a commercial break. The Young Bucks had taken out Hangman Adam Page with a powerbomb to the apron, and John Silver is just going freaking batshit crazy on the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. He goes for a pin attempt, and it's Nick Jackson kicks out. And then he gets hit with a V-trigger super kick German suplex combination. He's rolled out to the
what?
It was a V-trigger super kick German combo. But he got rolled to the outside. Matt Jackson holds him in position for the Meltzer driver underneath a basketball hoop that's on the outside of the ring. Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, but one of the Young Bucks goes to get a basketball from Kenny Omega, who's on the apron, and hit the Meltzer driver. He misses, but still hits the Meltzer driver. I thought them missing actually added to it. I thought it made it look even more funny. Jackson is the legal man, and he ends up pinning Silver. Page is the last man standing. Matt Jackson is the legal man now. He's going for the Meltzer driver, but it's reversed, and Nick Jackson and him both get hit with a buckshot lariat, and Matt gets pinned by Hangman. So now it's 2-1 in favor of the Elite. Hangman, my notes got really weird. I was doing voice to text, my bad. So Hangman was then going for the Deadeye, but he only got a 2 count on Kenny. So Kenny has the AEW title, and he tries to hit Hangman with it, but he ducks it. He's getting in position for another Hangman lariat or a buckshot lariat, but Nick Jackson holds Hangman on the apron, and it's similar to the finals of the tag team tournament where Hangman cost the Young Bucks their title shot opportunity against Omega and Hangman. And Excalibur was really great in calling attention to that. So he goes for the buckshot lariat, gets nailed with the title for a good near fall, but Omega ends up hitting him with the one-winged angel. It doesn't matter. And the Elite win in a surprise victory, 2-0. I did not see that coming. After that, we had Pac get an update from the Lucha Bros. He has no idea where they are. Chavo and Andrade come in, and Andrade and Chavo both tell him that they got them a limo. So I have no idea why this was here, to be completely honest. It kind of made no sense.
Right. It's
Like if you're not gonna have them on the show, at least just kind of move this to something else.
I'm starting to feel bad for Pac in this will they or won't they relationship with the Lucha Brothers. It's getting really weird now. It's about a year long of, are they friends? Are they a stable? Are they? Is it the three of them? Is it Kingston and who? You know, it's just this.
A lot of movement getting left on red.
Keep switching
left on red.
It's a lot of movement.
He's getting
a lot of
left
movement
on red
with this Lucha Brothers.
He's a side chick right now.
Lucha Brothers got a lot of people courting them right now. These two brothers are getting wined and dined right now.
For real.
Ricky Starks came out for his FTW Championship celebration with a brass quartet, basically, just a bunch of trumpets and everything out there playing him out with Hook. And Brian Cage ends up coming out. This one poor dude, Brian Cage took like a big ass like bass drum and just like put it through this guy's head. Like, it did not look fun to take. Like, this looked horrible. We get a message just out of nowhere from Hiroshi Tanahashi saying that he's going to challenge the winner of tonight's IWGP US title match. That was insane. For the and he's gonna challenge at the New Japan pay-per-view Resurgence. So up next we had FTR versus Santana and Ortiz. I thought that this match started off well. Unfortunately, before we could really get to a second gear, what's his name? Cash Wheeler got a really, really bad cut on his arm and ended up just like completely going out. It was a really good call. He got out of there. They started like trying to dress it up as quickly as possible, and it got really clunky near the end. Unfortunately, like, that shit happens, but like, it was
what did he hit exactly?
The ring apron,
happen?
Or not the ring apron, the ring post.
So is that what's on the post for that to happen? What's on the post? How's the post made for that to happen?
It's just like
there's a good possibility where you screw in the turnbuckle.
Yeah,
a bolt that hangs out on the back of that.
That's what it is.
And if he got thrown over the top rope, I've seen people catch their arms on there, catch clothing. I mean, there's a lot of loose metal that just kind of hangs out here and there, nuts and bolts. I mean, if you see how a ring's put together, there's a lot of metal, a lot of wires, a lot of things that could just easily catch you. And I mean, they said the slice was a pretty good slice. It got under the skin pretty good. It was bad. It wasn't like a gash. It was more like a slice. And
there was a bunch of blood on the floor when they were showing him.
Cut him good.
Like, I originally thought he broke his arm. I thought he fell wrong.
I thought that bone was sticking out at first. I thought that it was that bad.
He did that.
I saw him bleed.
He did that Sabu grab, like when Sabu tore his bicep open. You saw him do that freak out grab of like holding his arm, like, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
When I saw him do that, like hiding his arm and like trying to stop, I knew he was bleeding. I was like, oh, that's a cut. That's a bad cut. Like, people rushed on that thing ASAP.
That's crazy.
We go to a message from Britt Baker. She's with Rebel, and she basically talks about how she retained her title even with a broken wrist, and DMD, all that stuff. Tony Khan has an announcement. We come back. Tony Schiavone announces that Tony Khan's announcement is that AEW, the second edition of AEW Rampage, is going to be called The First Dance, and it's going to be from the United Center in Chicago.
That's a lot of gimmicks.
The pre-sale ticket sold out immediately. 10,000 tickets, like, already. This is going to be a big show.
So did Thunder.
The fans immediately started chanting CM Punk. We go to the back. Darby Allin says, AEW is the place to get it done in wrestling, even if you think you're the best in the world. So do you guys think that Punk appears before or after All Out?
He better show up.
If he shows up, do you think
I got a problem with this? Because CM Punk's even said too, he stole that moniker from Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
Before Chris Jericho even used it, Bryan Danielson was going around the American Dragon best in the world.
Yes.
Exactly.
So if anybody's going to be showing up first, I think it's absolutely going to be Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson or however you want to call it. Because, I mean, truly, everyone's even said, you ask any wrestler out there who's the best in the world, they're going to tell you Bryan Danielson. So,
but I think that would be disappointing if
Shane
Danielson came
McMahon.
out.
No,
he has the trophy that says it. I mean, if you got a trophy, makes it true.
Oh God!
But I think if it's not CM Punk at this point, I mean, they've basically been building it up to be Punk.
Punk
So I
has
feel
to
like
be
if
that.
he doesn't come
Punk
out,
has
if he
to
doesn't
be
come
that
out
masked
on
man.
either
Punk has
Friday,
to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? They just can't give it to us.
I
Like
will say this: if this is the one thing I would like about AEW is that if I really want this to not be Punk, because they're they're playing with the feelings of the fans so much, and I really want you to say, hey, joke's on you, because you all assumed, you all made asses out of yourself just because they said best in the world. You all assumed it was CM Punk,
well,
and
they
then it'll
did
be
that.
somebody else.
They did that before though already with Christian and the Battle
But I
Royal.
mean, what if it's Okada?
No.
They're building up to getting big names like Tanahashi to show up.
He's
I feel like
already
they're leading up to this Okada appearance eventually.
Okada's already going to be at MetLife Stadium on that
It's
Saturday.
gonna be Kenny.
Bogwitch, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Oh,
It's gonna be Kenny.
It better not. Say, I'm telling you this. Punk better show up even if he's not under contract. They better find a way to get that man in Chicago. It's gonna be a problem.
I mean, they better do it right at the end of the show, WCW style, where I get to hear Tony Schiavone say, "Sorry, folks, we're out of time," with CM Punk in the middle of the ring over Kenny Omega or something.
But do you guys think it's on the Last Dance or the First Dance, or do you guys think it's on All Out that he comes
It would
out?
have to be. I wouldn't. Why would it not be at All Out?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because they build up Rampage.
Because they've been building it up for this show.
If you're
like,
gonna listen, but that's the thing though. Like, listen, I understand. Yeah, you're at Allstate, and you're at the bigger venue for First Dance, Last Dance, whatever, hoopla. The first, the first soiree, whatever bullshit it is.
Dirty
but like, all Out is the signature show. Now, I mean, if you're trying to do it to set a precedent,
what about
set a standard,
or setting up a match between them and then having him fight at All Out?
But wow, okay, go ahead.
No, because the cliffhanger.
I'm just asking you guys
All Out
questions.
will
I'm
be
just
much better.
questions.
Because that's the thing. The thing about it is that what you're going to try to do it to the point where you still have people talking about it afterwards. So if it's a cliffhanger where Punk comes out at the end of All Out, and then there's nothing else that's happening, what's going to happen until Wednesday? What's going to happen on Tuesday with Dark? Like, they're like, well, damn, that's going to be the talk for the whole week. It's all about like throwing that cliffhanger out there to make it, that must see TV. Because now everybody's gonna let's be real. When we all found out that Kenny was gonna be on Impact, right? Everybody stopped what they were doing and they were like, "Yo, we're gonna watch Impact because Kenny's gonna be there." Right? If you do the same thing with Punk, they're going to stop. Look, they're not gonna give a fuck about what Raw happens. They're not gonna give a fuck about NXT. They're gonna wait till Dynamite and they're gonna be like, "Is something happening on Wednesday?" No, it's something happening on whenever the next show happens. Like it's all about that shock factor, and keeping people in suspense. Like if you do that, your ratings are gonna go higher because more people are gonna watch because they're gonna hope for something. And then, now it's all about when do you pull that trigger.
Yeah.
I'm just interested on what your guys' thoughts were. I've been seeing these types of questions. This question specifically go around with everybody thinking something different. That's why I wanted to know where all of you stood on this.
I mean, there's so much good talent out there too available that it's crazy to really depict who the best in the world is right now when one of the best in the world are sitting at home in England right now with a neck injury.
I see the positive of both scenarios. But yeah, well, Will Ospreay ain't showing up. If we were
but I'm saying there's so many best in the world right now that
if we were talking about the real best in the world.
What if a Braun Strowman shows up? What if it's there's so many best in the world that people out there would say is best in the world to them. It's
I was gonna say
it's a very open statement right there. You know what I'm saying? It's a very open thing where
Yeah, but I mean, they're going off of brand. Anyways, I know what you're talking about, Max. I get what you're. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So, the next match was the IWGP US Championship match. It was between Hikuleo and Lance Archer. I thought that this match was okay. Lance Archer retained, so he will be defending against Hiroshi Tanahashi. They said in the near future, but the match is going to probably take place at Resurgence. If you've seen a Hikuleo match, then you know what you're kind of getting into. It was just an average affair in my honest opinion. It wasn't anything better. I was hoping in front of a bigger audience that this would be better, but it was just all right. Cody Rhodes, we go backstage. Cody Rhodes is about to start talking, and Malachi Black just beats the brakes off of Cody. And then they get to the front, and Fuego del Sol gets hit with the best black mass I've ever seen in my life. This man sold it like he was dead. It was crazy. If you haven't seen it, go and check that out on YouTube. Miro has a message for Lee Johnson, who he's going to be defending his TNT Championship against next week. The Hardy family office had a match against Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. Christian and Jurassic Express won, and Christian got laid out right after the match by the Blade. I said after that match that it seems like the Blade's new gimmick is to just go and just lay people out and then just peace out, just run away.
And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I wish they did that more in wrestling.
I said that shit, and he liked my stat on my tweet. Like,
I wish they did that shit more in wrestling. I remember when
he throws the brass knucks on, knocks him out, and goes.
Listen, to go back to WWE, I was like, that's the perfect gimmick for Lone Wolf Corbin. Just to come in, beat somebody's ass, and then leave.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah,
remember when he was in NXT? They were doing the countdown.
You remember how in NXT they would count how long his matches were. And I was like, yo, if you let that shit run into the main roster, I'm telling you, like, that man goes over. Not saying he's not liked, because he's one of the most liked guys in that company right now. But like, with a fan perspective, that man would have went. He would have been over instantly.
What else happened in
Thunder
AEW?
Rosa won her match against Julia Hart, and in the main event we got Chris Jericho versus Nick Gage. Jesus Christ. So the match starts. Nick Gage just has a pizza cutter in his hand as the match is just starting. He swipes at Jericho and just immediately cuts his arm. He ends up losing that. And he goes to the outside of the ring, gets light tubes, brings them back in. But at the same time, Jericho is grabbing the baseball bat, and he comes in and just takes it to Nick Gage. We are about to go to commercial break. Nick Gage is in charge, and he pulls out another pizza cutter from his pocket. And in the greatest picture-in-picture, like, to commercial break that I've ever seen in my entire life, Excalibur is just like, we've got to go to commercial break, but just don't be worried, stay in picture-in-picture. Don't forget to check out this brand new pizza from Domino's. Like, whoa, like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? That was phenomenal. That was awesome. This also started some Twitter beef between Domino's and Pabst Blue Ribbon, which, if you've been keeping up with Pabst's Twitter account, I'm a follower of them now. These guys are fantastic. We came back. Jericho or Nick Gage has two chairs set up and a glass pane on top of them. He goes to suplex suplex Jericho through it, but Jericho gets down and it gives him a Rana through the glass pane. Nick Gage is all cut up. Jericho's bleeding like crazy. Nick Gage ends up, or Jericho goes for a code breaker, but gets thrown onto the broken glass. Nick Gage gets the glass tubes. He breaks one glass tube over Jericho. He breaks another glass tube over Jericho. He breaks another one. He takes a fourth glass tube and just snaps it over his knee and takes the end and just starts stabbing Jericho in the forehead. He goes to another light tube, does the same thing. I fucking love this company. We get to the end. He's pulling out these 4 light tubes just kind of wrapped together. He's about to hit Jericho, and straight out of the Great Muta's fucking playbook, he spits him in the eyes with green mist. Nick Gage can't see, and he gets just annihilated with these glass light tubes. And Jericho gets the pin 1, 2, 3 against Nick Gage. There's going to be 2 groups of people coming from this main event. There's going to be the people that hated this match because AEW gave them an authentic Nick Gage match on national television. And then there's going to be the people that love this match because they gave them a authentic Nick Gage match from national fucking television. Hell fucking yeah, dude. Yeah. Holy shit. Especially after that homecoming weekend from GCW, this was crazy to see that they actually did this on AEW, and I commend them for that. But we're not done because we get some of the best long-term storytelling that I have seen. We get MJF is just pissed, and he's just like, well, here is your next opponent. And we go to the Titantron. 2 years ago, basically, when this company started, when Jericho was the AEW champion, him and MJF were going back and forth in the ring, and Jericho made a comment about how his parents were banging, basically, while they were watching his match with Juventud Guerrero. And MJF is like, who the hell is Juvi? And Jericho says, Google it, bud. And we go back, and MJF is just like, guess what? I Googled it. So next week, it's going to be Chris Jericho versus Juventud Guerrero. And the stipulation is that Jericho has to hit a move from the top rope. And the show ended. This was fucking hilarious.
Yo, listen.
Any move. It could be a basic ass clothesline, elbow.
It's gonna be something crazy. It's gonna be something crazy.
Yo.
If he went to this length in this fucking match with Nick Gage, he's gonna do something crazy. I'm hoping that we see a fucking the juice is loose.
He about to win. Jericho about to win with an axe hammer.
Yo, oh my lord. But yeah, that was dynamite. So what was your guys' positives and negatives from the show?
Okay.
Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna start first because I don't watch AEW like that, but like what I saw was the Nick Gage versus Chris Jericho match, and it was a good match. I liked it. That's all I gotta say.
Right on.
All right.
As somebody who's seen a Nick Gage match live and in person, and who basically had to run for his life so you won't get hit with fluorescent filament. I'm happy that they did it on national TV. I'm happy that Nick Gage finally got some of the the airtime that he deserves. People hear like about the myth of Nick Gage and like MDK and all that stuff, and it's like now you get to see like how crazy it is, and then also like I feel it's like another door opening now with like possibly with GCW coming in with like now it's like, well, I saw somebody in the chat say the king of deathmatch, Matt Cardona. Don't ever say that shit ever again in your life.
The face of the GCW universe, baby.
but it's very possible now. So that's dope. And then I mean, like as somebody who is seasoned, I guess, in wrestling and who enjoyed the Juventud Guerreros from WCW, I'm very, very much excited to see, even though the match might be sloppy as hell, but it's just like that nostalgia feeling, it's definitely going to be really good. So,
what you got, Max?
Oh yeah, that match is going to be insane. That Jericho match, as soon as he said that it has to end off of a top rope move, first thing I can remember is Chris Jericho, Hoovy. They've done this in WCW. Jericho did a top rope standing Hurricane Rana off the top rope. And that was the first time I've ever seen that. Those two stood both on the top rope. He jumped up, Hurricane Rana off the top rope, drove Hoovy to the ground, and pinned him with that. I would not be surprised if we don't see that same move 20-something years later and beat Hoovy again, because, like you said, long-ass storytelling is that's what AEW is about.
Mm-hmm.
But to be straight off with the whole Elite and the Dark Order thing, I was a little bummed that Paige didn't get the win. Also, the typical writing of AEW where, you kind of think like, oh, man, Paige is so hot right now. They're going to let Adam Page. Nah, man. Like, they pulled the brakes on that real fast. They did the swerve. And it puts the heat on the Elite even more. I mean, the hatred I saw on chats where people are just like, oh, of course they win again. Of course the Elite wins again. I mean, to be honest with you, that whole match was being the Elite. If you watch their YouTube show, that whole match was being the Elite. All those guys are on being the Elite. Every one of them have a role in that show. Mm-hmm. So to see them wrestling was, once again, I mean, they want to say, oh, well, it's all those guys, the Elite. That was all being the Elite. I mean, it's all them just putting themselves in that. I mean, respectable. They did an opening match and stuff like that. I figured they would have made themselves co-main event. But just the fact that the Elite put over, they put themselves over Adam. Now the rumor is Adam's not even going to he's not even going to be in any picture. All Out, nothing. He's not even going to be on the show. I mean, if they really are sticking to that, if that rumor is true, that's depressing that his last big match right there was that 10-man match, and that's the end of his momentum. I really hope that's not the end of everything.
You think that's the end of this whole thing, though?
I don't think it is. But if that's really what they're saying right now, they're going to throw the brakes on because the incoming of CM Punk and Daniel Bryan and all these other talents. I feel sorry for Adam Page because he has worked his ass off. That dude is number one ranked. He has the most wins. You look at the win-loss column right now, everything else. He's going to get kicked aside for some former WWE guys.
Hold on. We still talking about rankings? We still talking about rankings in AEW? That's still
that's true.
Yeah. This is the reason. This is the reason why. Right. This is the reason why I like this, though, because now we don't know what's happening. There's a lot of people that are upset, and they're already just kind of giving up on this and stuff like that, and they're getting mad. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts.
Oh no, I know this is coming back.
No,
eventually,
but I'm just saying, like, where do we go from here, though? Huh? Christian would technically, if we're going with the storyline that, what is it called? That Paige is out. Christian is the next in line. And I've heard that that's going to be a TV match, not on All Out. So there's still, I don't know who is at All Out, but I'm just saying that this intrigues me. The fact that I don't know what's going on, and that actually makes it intriguing to me. I like long storytelling.
That stood out to me so much. Is you're going to have this hot crowd all about Dark Order coming out. They were hot for Dark Order, and then that crowd at the end of that match was just like the whole crowd got kicked in the gut. They were expecting that big pop and everything else, and they were just like, God damn, the Elite won again. Yeah, they win again. That's the point of the gimmick. They win. Yeah, I like them.
Like you said, it got them like mad heat and everything.
I like this. Ricky Starks as the FTW champion. It's a nice little feud. Brian Cage doesn't need to be in a stable. He does not need to be in a stable at all. That man is, I mean, he's the Wolverine. He's the muscle Wolverine. He can be on his own. That he doesn't need to be in a stable with a bunch of developmental guys. Guy's been in the business for 12 years now. He doesn't need to be in a stable with a bunch of guys right now who are, part of this nightmare club and this, give him that push. Give him something else besides just being in the background of Taz's stable of, Roy, Hobbs and all these other guys, that match, like you said, the tag team match with FTR, that was really sad. You could see they were getting a hot. Ortiz and Santana were getting hot. That match was getting real momentum. And then you could see something was not right. There was a lot of movement on the outside. You could see they were stalling with like arm bars, headlocks, kind of stalling out the time. You could tell something was not right. The ending was just, you could tell it was sped up and everything else. That was kind of sad because this is a feud that's been building up. And like they said, FTR has been waiting for this win. They've been waiting for that win, and it's kind of a weird way for this to go down.
They wasn't.
By the way, anyway. Cash Wheeler was doing better. He was reported to be doing better afterwards. So I didn't say that, but he is doing better. But it is like I was saying before, it is unfortunate that happened. But go ahead, keep going.
I really enjoy I like I said, I enjoy the Darby promo with the whole Sting. I like this little pairing up with them. It's just kind of, it seems like Darby's kind of a floater right now. So, I mean, I don't know how that's kind of working with him. I kind of wish he had more direction of like something that he's focusing on. He seems like when he's focused on a person, he gets good storytelling out of him. But right now with him and Sting just being these two painted guys in the back hanging out, it's kind of like, all right, well, what's that about? I really like the whole buildup with you, the IWGP US title. That's really cool. That, like I said, Tanahashi being a bigger, and it's like the names keep getting bigger and bigger every week, every month with AEW. The names keep getting bigger and bigger, and we all keep wanting. We know Okada's coming. We know when Kenny Omega goes out there every week and says, "I'm the best," no one can beat me out there. No one can now touch me. When Don Callis says no one is better than Kenny Omega, we all sit there behind our screen saying, well, Okada. What about Okada? And with this relationship right now, we know it's building up to something. Now, is Okada going to be the one that shows up at All Out, and that's why they don't have an opponent for Kenny? Is he going to show up in Impact before he shows up in AEW? I mean, that's what I'm kind of wondering right now with this whole relationship, with this, little love triangle between Impact, New Japan, and AEW. Is where does this lead to with certain names? Like Switchblade is over on Impact. Tanahashi's coming to AEW to do a show. When will we see Naito? When will we see Okada? When will those kind of names? When will we see the title even show up? Just did you mark out when you saw the Never Open Championship show up on Impact? I mean, I was like, holy
that was
shit.
My show of the weekend. I mean,
I was like, holy shit.
Weekend, so
if to see,
and SummerSlam was really good, but I mean, that shit knocked it over the park for me.
Challenging for this title is like, holy crap, like it's going to only get bigger. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to go. And that main event, I mean, as a GCW fan, it was a GCW match. It was a flat out GCW match. That's what we got right there. We got chairs, we got tubes, we got a pane of glass, which has been their big thing lately. Everything but the barbecue skewers, which I know they can't do that on TV, but I mean, we got a typical GCW match. And of course, Eric Bischoff shit on it. Of course, probably people in WWE said it sent the company back, the wrestling, business 30 years back or whatever shit. But to be honest with you, after a weekend of like Dark said himself, after the weekend that GCW had, you got to ride that lightning bolt. You got to ride that shit. They knew that Cardona winning the GCW title was going to be the big cooler talk the next day. Everyone was talking about Matt Cardona, GCW champion. What shows up? Oh, the guy who he happened to lose the title to.
Did you notice on that, what's his name? Gage? If you like the top of his head, you could still see the cuts from his match with Cardona over the weekend. Like this guy literally had just got fucked up like a couple of days ago before coming back.
Off in the match was JR. JR was very dated in the match.
JR did not like that match.
He is I thought this guy was still in jail. I got that. Come on, man. Obviously, you didn't watch it.
Yeah, I love JR.
There was like a point where they get the light tubes. There was a point where they got the light tubes, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, bring out more light tubes." I was like, "Fucking JR, Jesus Christ."
JR's wild, man. He was one of those guys. Excalibur was amazing during that whole match. For him to explain pretty much the history of like what we're watching right now from Nick Gage and why we're seeing this, it was great. I mean, I have friends in GCW who saw it as like people didn't know our name before, but they know our name now.
Even Justin Roberts, like they literally got everything down. They wanted to make you feel like he was like representing like Eastern Bloc, like representing that murder death. Like he did the whole intro. Like they wanted to make this as much of a Nick Gage like match as they could.
That crowd knew it by heart. They knew the cheer by heart. They know this man. That's why they knew to bring this man in. I mean, if you watch Dark, they've been bringing in Ricky Shane Payne. They've been bringing in all these, Jason Oliver. All these. They've been bringing all these GCW guys. GCW is kind of like the new farming ground for AEW right now.
Mm-hmm.
And bringing in the guy who is the face of the company, the guy who the man who runs the show, Nick Gage. Now they're in bed together too. So I mean, it's kind of setting up now where do we go from here? Who are we going to see from now? Like it's
So
it was a really good match. It was really interesting, and to see the media react and a lot of the wrestlers personally reacting on their Twitters and stuff, saying like, "This is the start." I'm wondering what it's the start for, because obviously they know something we don't know. And Nick Gage being on TV, Matt Cardona holding their title, something's going on.
It's about to be phase 2, man. Phase 2 of the multiverse.
Something I forgot to mention was that what's his name? Moxley also cut a promo on Tanahashi in the middle of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the bigger match for you? This hasn't been pushed either. I guess it kind of was pushed, but do you guys think Moxley versus Tanahashi or Tanahashi or Moxley versus Gage is the bigger match for All Out?
Well, I would say Moxley and Gage, because he still kind of had that little history as well.
Yeah.
You know, on the GCW scale, I think I would go with that. I mean, I mean, if Moxley was still IWGP US Heavyweight Champion, then Moxley Tanahashi, of course. But I feel like you're gonna get much more. If you're gonna ride this deathmatch wave, then you got to go with Moxley Gage.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you saw 2 days ago, Moxley opened challenge to the Good Brothers in for a tag team match, and said that since they just won at the tag team Surgeons for Strong, that they want to challenge. Moxley's like, I want to challenge the Good Brothers. Apparently, it's going to be Sami Callihan. So Sami Callihan and John Moxley are going to get together to go against the Good Brothers on an AEW show. So, I mean, when it's going to happen, I guess, sometime in the near future. But then you also have Tama Tonga after the AEW US title match for the New Japan stuff. He's over here saying this isn't over, and I'll be seeing the Good Brothers real soon. And it's like, well, what the hell does that like?
Yeah, what's happening? It's a lot.
What is going on here? And then you got Nick Gage thrown in the middle of all this, and it's like, what does this mean? What is going on?
All of these companies are just working together, and it makes me so happy. It makes me excited to watch wrestling.
This is a billionaire's checkbook being used properly.
That's
honestly,
true. That's 100. So this is the one thing that we all ask for as fans. This is the one, like, let's be real, like, as you know, as the IWC, this is the one thing that we always wanted. We're like, all right, let's just get all these companies, let's get all these dream matches, let's get all these other potential matches. The one thing that we fail as fans is that we always ask for these dream matches, but we never think about the chemistry between the actual wrestlers and thinking all these matches are going to be really, really good.
I mean, right now it feels like we're watching 2K19 Creator Wrestler Universe, where it's like, oh wow, this week we're gonna have Sami Callihan versus Kojita, and next week we're gonna have Moxley versus, and it's like, who ever thought we would see all this because of some guy at a Jacksonville saying, you know what, I'm gonna use my daddy's checkbook in a way that wrestling's never seen before. I mean, I'm not too much of a crazy fan on AEW right now. I mean, I'm kind of getting into it, but it's more one of those things where it's like, to see someone actually use that money and that power and aspect of opening and knocking down walls that we've always talked about since we were kids, of like, wouldn't it be cool if, I mean, now we're sitting there and we're legitimately saying, you know, oh, it's going to happen.
Right.
It's going to happen. Like, I mean, it's insane. It's an insane time right now.
I feel like Dope is just about to go off.
I was going to say, Dope, what do you think about the show?
Hey, I'm just letting y'all get y'all's in, man. Listen, AEW is a fun ass show. It's very entertaining. They come out, they have fun. They come out and dress up. They come out and have different music, depending on what type of theme they trying to come out with. AEW is a fun show. I don't fucking get the Nick Gage love at all. At all. I said it last week on the podcast. I said I watched that match with Matt Cardona. The shit is trash unless you like a whole bunch of glass being thrown on people's head and people slamming to glass. They didn't tell no goddamn story at all. Nick Gage, every time I watch him, he never tells a story in the ring. It's just, I'm gonna cut your ass up and you go cut my ass up and we gonna do the ending.
To be real with you, it's that East Coast fucking wrestling style. I mean, that's why those guys wrestle no further than Ohio. And they don't go any further than that because Jersey, Philly, I mean, you know, Philly is bloody for that wrestling. I mean, they stay in those areas that they know they get over because since the 90s, this is what they've been, you know, this is the norm for them.
Bro,
but that's why they don't go to other places outside of the East Coast, because they know that reaction ain't going to be the same love. It's going to be, they had a show in Wyoming 2 months ago and the cops came because they thought it was a real fight.
That did happen. That did
fine.
happen.
All that's fine. All that's fine. I grew up on Sabu, Mick Foley, Tommy, Dreamer, all these. So I'm good with hardcore stuff, but they can actually go. They tell a story. They can actually go in the ring without the shit. And I don't get Nick Gage at all. He's not entertaining to me at all. The crowd love him in GCW. Cool. They bring him to AEW. Cool. I just don't see it, bro.
I mean, really,
all right, look, I would
he's on
say
the way
if you want to
career,
put a
too.
perfect comparison, and y'all can say how y'all feel. If you want to put a perfect comparison, because you mentioned a whole bunch of ECW guys, put Nick Gage in that same realm as like the Sandman, where it's like, yes, he's not the best wrestler, but just the shit that he does is gonna get people hyped the fuck up. So that's exactly what he is.
Yo, I paid $20 to an indie show just to see Sandman not do anything but hit a guy with a cane for 5 minutes and
That's
her.
That's it.
That's what he does.
Exactly.
But I paid to see it, and I was like, "This is the hottest shit in the world." Took him longer to get to the ring than the whole match.
But again, I've seen Sandman tell stories in the ring. I've never seen Nick Gage do that.
Well, Nick Gage's story right now is the story that Dark Side of the Ring told, and everyone's hot on it right now. That be honest with you, that before the Dark Side of the Ring, 90% of wrestling fans didn't even know who the fuck Nick Gage was. They didn't even know. I would tell people Nick Gage is one of the best hardcore wrestlers, and I'm like, who the hell is that? They didn't know who he was. Once they watched that show, because it was a hot show on Vice, everybody knows who Nick Gage is. He's hot right now, but he's also on the downfall of his career. He's also, you see him walk down there, he has that old wrestler walk. He moves like an old wrestler. He's got a face like a catcher's mitt. I mean, he's using his popularity right now to get his company in a spot where he can kind of put him in an area where, wrestling's hot right now. But I'd say by this time next year, we won't see Nick Gage, but just a memory of, hey, remember a year ago when Nick Gage was hot?
Remember 6 months ago when Nick Gage lost to Macadona? Yeah, that's what we're gonna be saying.
I mean,
man,
look,
listen,
I said, my first Nick Gage show was Nick Gage versus Homicide at an indie show, and
Homicide carried that match, didn't he?
They both carried that match. Actually, to be 100% honest with you, the fans carried the match because we were throwing garbage cans, we were throwing chairs. We were giving them the props to fight.
Exactly, just like GCW. That match outside of the fans at GCW Macadona was ass.
So it was ass. I gotta have that. If it wasn't for the fans, I need one of them pizza cutters, man, because my pizza cutter can't cut shit.
Exactly. if it wasn't for the fans at GCW, that match was trash. I'm sorry.
But even that perspective though, like even how good of a match doesn't that just depend on how entertained you are specifically? Because when I watch that match, I loved that shit. I loved all of
I love the atmosphere of it.
I think coming out of this too, we'll see GCW now that a wrestler holds their title. He's not going to have a death match every freaking match for that belt, like when Nick Gage was holding it and Schlack and all the other.
That's what Cardona said he wants to do.
He is a wrestler. He's going to make these guys wrestle him. He's going to have a wrestling match, which, I mean, sadly, that's going to limit their contenders for that belt. But that's why
Cardona said, Cardona was saying that
the relationship with AEW is kind of in there too, where we might see an AEW guy show up on GCW and challenge Cardona, and all of a sudden now we're talking about that. Like.
We get to all that. I'm still giving you my goods and bads on AEW. I'm still on that, right? We'll get to that stuff. Nick Gage, whatever. It is cool for what it was. It got a pop, whatever. Moving on. Adam Page losing his opportunity to get the title match at Double or Nothing. I don't like it, but if there is a rumor saying that he's about to have a baby around that time. So
he is his wife is pregnant. He is having a kid.
So if that's the case and that's why they moving him off, I completely understand.
Okay.
But if it wasn't for that, all these people that's like, well, yeah, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan should get the title opportunity. Don't say shit about WWE when Edge come in and get a title opportunity, Cena come in and get a title opportunity. When you go throw your hottest star
fucking Goldberg.
Yeah. When you turn around and throw your hottest star to the side for a guy who ain't wrestled at 8+ years, and Daniel Bryan who just got pinned on by Edge and Roman because he was at the bottom of that stack.
Facts.
Y'all think that'll happen though?
That's what it's looking like.
Hey, remember when Christian came in He was in a program with Omega, like just like laying them out, and
Like,
everybody thought that they were going to put him in that position. They did not.
They changed.
So
it,
they didn't though. Do you think that they're going to go back on that and they're going to actually put one of those two in the main roster just because of their name?
If
just
CM
because of their
Punk
name
comes in Chicago, CM Punk does show up. Yes. Daniel Bryan, I don't think so.
I think that this is what I'm.
Yes.
See, this is the problem I have with what WWE and how they program stuff. They've got people super cynical and think in a type of way. If that happens, I'll take my headphones off. It's the only thing I'm wearing right now, and I'll concede and I'll say I was wrong. But so far, AEW hasn't done something to that effect where they've taken a brand new talent and immediately inserted them into the picture. But I will also say we haven't had anybody this big of a superstar coming into the company also
in his hometown.
Kenny Omega doing an open challenge at the end of the show for his title, anybody in the building, and CM Punk comes out the crowd, hits him, gets him, and then does the with the belt going through the crowd again like he did with John Cena. You know, everyone's gonna be like, even though it was only a 2-minute match, they're gonna lose their shit for it because it was that moment of holy shit.
Yeah,
holy shit, that just happened. You know, like they haven't gone for the cheap pop yet. That's what I like about AEW so far is they haven't gone for the cheap pop yet.
Right.
So for them to pull a cheap pop like that, they can get away with them here.
Only reason I'm thinking like that is because you have the Chicago shows. They want Rampage to be as big as Dynamite. They want Rampage to be like SmackDown to Raw. They want it to be a second big show. That's why they already doing the gimmick names for the show.
So then why not just, since Darby Allin seems to be doing his shit already and teasing stuff, why not, instead of putting him into a main title picture, have him go against Darby Allin?
That's what Daniel Bryan is going to do if he shows up.
But Daniel Bryan, I've heard Daniel Bryan probably for the Arthur Ashe show, which is later. They still have that show. They need a surprise for that because they're saying they want it on the same level as Winter is Coming. And Sting was the surprise for that show.
Yeah.
So they want another big surprise. You still have Arthur Ashe.
November.
Yeah, you still have Arthur Ashe later that month. So both don't need to come at the same time. Save one for another show. Okay. Chicago can be CM Punk's show. Save Daniel Bryan for Arthur Ashe.
So who's
Save
fighting
him for New York?
In your opinion, who's fighting Kenny Omega at All Out or whatever it is that's coming up?
I don't know.
Does Kenny Omega even have a match?
Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, he's gonna have to.
He said it could be.
I don't know.
It could be.
Nah, Coda's gonna be in. He's still sick right now. He's still got pneumonia. It's bad. It's bad. It's real bad. That's what I was gonna say that at the top of the show. But
all I'm saying is that because we keep talking about Okada eventually, and I'm like, I'm waiting on Ibushi to come.
Yeah.
Like Ibushi and Omega, that's gonna blow people's heads like through the roof.
Yeah, it's one thing for your enemy to show up. It's another thing for your quote unquote best friend to look at you and be like, what are you doing? What are you wearing? Why do you look like a clown with that facial hair? Why are you running with these clowns? Like, he dropped all that shit for Kota Ibushi. He dropped the Bullet Club. He dropped everything for Kota Ibushi.
That was one of the biggest. That was one of the best feuds.
One of the best build-up, knowing that these two were going to become friends again and a tag team again was one of the biggest build-ups of the summer that year. And yet, Kota Ibushi is a guy right now that he's not doing anything. He's floating. He's just out there. Once he's over COVID, that'd be great to see him be the guy that shows up and challenges Kenny at All Out and just be like, "Hey, you never beat me."
I bet. So we'll get to that too. Back to AEW. I love the fact that they brought the New Japan, American is it the U.S. title?
Yeah, the IWGP US title. Yeah.
So I love they're bringing that as almost like their secondary title outside of the TNT title. I like that they use that to add to the show on a weekly basis because remember I kept saying that I feel like with another show and with this roster, they need another title for somebody to fight over, and there they go. They answered it just like that.
Bringing that title over. And when travel restrictions are done, this is gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
Give this title to a Jungle Boy. Now Jungle Boy is automatically like an honorary member of the New Japan roster. He can go fight for that title in frickin' at Dominion or wherever. Have matches against all these people. Like, yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
So that's another good. That's a very good thing about it. AEW overall, very good show. Like I said, it's fun. I don't get the Nick Gage thing at all. I love the fact Juventud Guerrera is coming. Like that's one of my favorite all times outside of Rey Mysterio, as far as like luchadors and cruiserweight WCW type guys. So I love to see that. I said lucha.
Back too.
Does he?
Yeah, he got his mask back 2 years ago in Mexico. He had a match where he was given the honor to get his mask back. So that's why the promos that you see right now, he does wear a mask. Sometimes he wrestles in it, sometimes he doesn't, because in America, I think he chooses. He can choose in America, but in Mexico, he wrestles in the mask again. He has the old school Hoovy looking mask again. So
Hoovie's in shape too.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like Rey Mysterio buff when Rey came back and was swole as shit. He's on that level of like Hoovy swole.
We'll mess around and see. We'll mess around and see Psychosis next week or something. I'm good. I'm good with Juventud coming back. So I love that. The whole Cash, hurting his arm, that really sucked. That really sucks. They built that up for a while, and it looked like it was about to be a fire match. I saw him fall, and I saw him instantly get up and run around to the other side of the ring, and then 35 seconds later, it was a finish, and I'm just like, man, that really sucks for them. I really hate that for them, both teams. So that was, I'm not gonna count it as a negative, but it does suck to see that happen to them. Overall, AEW is a good show. Now, as far as I do have a question, I know they working with everybody, but I'm still asking this. I asked this earlier. I'm asking it again months later. What is Impact really getting out of this deal with AEW?
Bound for Glory. They announced that there's going to be some type of working relationship with AEW. Did they say AAA? I can't remember if AAA was included, but AEW, New Japan, maybe AAA are all going to be involved on their biggest show of the year. So they announced that at Slammiversary.
But in what way is AEW involved? Is it going to be Kenny Omega beating somebody?
No.
again?
Like actual talent. Like that's how they have been promoting this. That they're going to have actual people. And what's his name? The X Division champion has recently been trying to find a competitor for his title right now.
Right now they got before that match, they have Triple Mania down in Mexico where Kenny has to go against Andrade.
Yep.
And they're saying that Andrade might be Kenny's Achilles heel right now, and this might be the start of Kenny's downfall. If Andrade can beat him at Triple Mania and take the AAA title off him, this will take one title off Kenny. Now Kenny's spiral will start.
That's my prediction.
Continue at Bound for Glory.
I hope so. I hope he loses
Andrade's going over.
Mania.
I don't see how he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. He's over in Mexico amazingly. Andrade is
I don't see how Andrade does not win at Triple Mania.
Absolutely. He is way over. He's the most over guy right now in Mexico. They love him to death. I mean, it's one of those things that they know, like, that's why AEW hasn't even let those two cross paths, is because they know when that's going to go down in Mexico, it's going to be the start of something where we're going to be like, well, it all started because Kenny lost to Mexico.
Yep.
I mean, Impact is getting to be, I guess you can say, like, they're getting to be the place that harbors all this stuff. I mean, it all started there. I mean, we got Chris Bay now part of the Bullet Club.
Bullet Club, man. Yeah.
That's New Japan.
That's crazy. I mean, we got Finju showing up over there now as a regular tag team, making their tag team division legit. Because before, I mean, let's be real, we had clowns and all these, 300, 700-pound guys running around. It was a weird show over there. Now we got Finjuice. We got all these other people. I mean, we got legit people showing up in Impact. The only problem is that people still call it TNA. Still people refer to it as TNA. It's still TNA to people because they've seen this before,
Okay, I'm just saying. I've seen maybe like
Bound
3
for
extra
Glory
people show up.
A lot of weird things.
But that was the thing though, because I remember when people, when people were thinking that Sammy Guevara was going to go into like the X division,
and he was
that was going to be like the good, the beginning of the trade off and whatnot, and then all of that went south, But I feel like eventually some of that Impact talent could, start going to other places. And I mean, honestly, if you got AAA, if you got AEW, you got New Japan, I mean, go ahead and just hit up Ring of Honor once again, man. Try to mend that relationship some way.
Bro, I'm saying Ring of Honor. Oh man.
Yeah, Ring of Honor.
I don't know, man. It kind of breaks my heart. I try to watch Ring of Honor, but like I don't know. It's just I don't know what I don't know how to explain it.
I will say this. Ring of Honor has been looking pretty good recently. Jonathan Gresham has been like holding down that Pure Championship. And it's been beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, like I saw the match he had with Fred Yehai. Like I think it was like almost like a couple weeks back. Amazing match.
Foundation is one of the best stables out there right now because they are just pure wrestling. They are just absolutely pure wrestling. And now they're feuding with a group like Unlimited Violence. They got a lot of shit going over there they're trying to do, but nobody's watching it because they're not part of this love triangle of Impact and AEW and New Japan. And
New Japan seems to be taking advantage of, or not taking
New Japan
advantage
is
of,
doing
but
it.
well, I was gonna say New Japan and Ring of Honor seem to be in some sort of working relationship with Strong, at least. But so you would think they're they're already almost there. So it's like just make one phone call and then.
But I mean, like now think about it. How dope would it be if you see like Filthy Tom Lawler come to AEW?
Yeah.
And I would love for MLW to work with anybody.
It's crazy that all these companies are working together for Impact, and then AEW is standing over there on the phone calling the cops.
Right.
Like,
I'm just
saying. They're all working together. Yeah. It's like
no, and that's the thing. Like, and
you
mentioned MLW, and I feel like MLW should be the next promotion that they contact because
I watched Battle Riot.
If you see freaking Hammerstone, if Hammerstone was to come and just like wreck shit in either AEW or Impact, and then you see, you know, Kenny. Let's say Kenny starts talking all this. You know, Kenny does the usual Kenny spill, and then Jacob Fatu just comes out of nowhere, right? I mean, like you can't tell me like just the possibilities of great matches. I mean, shit. Let's be real. Calvin Tankman versus Jacob Fatu was a great fucking match.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's like not that many people were even talking about it.
And 2 years ago, Dave Meltzer admitted on he recognizes the MLW championship as a major championship now. So when you talk about major championships out there, there's, you know, all those companies, and we can talk about MLW because they have a viewership and a fan rating that's so big in the Midwest and the East Coast now that people know a lot more of this, what's going on.
Right. And I just, the only thing I just wonder is that, because I know that MLW had a relationship with Pro Wrestling Noah. And I don't know if that's going to cause any like rifts or whatnot, if they would ever decide to go to.
Did you say MLW had a relationship with Noah?
Yeah, they did. Because
are they working with Dragon Gate currently? Do they have a working relationship with Dragon Gate now, or is that not true?
I'm not sure. The last time I remember, they had a working relationship in Pro Wrestling Noah because they had like Hammerstone go to like some of their tournaments as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, fire show. Let's get to SmackDown. You got anything on Impact, Darkness, or that you want to mention? You could just do the good if you want to do that. Cut some time.
Pretty much. Just the one big thing. It was a good show. I wanted to shout out Fallah Bah because when I started watching Impact again, the crowds weren't there. And this guy is a national treasure. This guy is actually really funny, especially when you got a crowd there with him. So I really liked him. I would say the two things to note on the show, I would say the big things were there was a match with Jay White and Chris Bay versus the Good Brothers, and the Good Brothers won. And at the end of the match, Chris Bay was talking about how he was disappointed that he lost his first match as a Bullet Club member, but Jay White was just like, "You're not in Bullet Club, dude. Like, if anything, I'm pretty disappointed about how this turned out, and I don't think that you should be in Bullet Club, but I am a fan of a redemption story. So there's a way that we can still make this up and make this work." And they ended up attacking Finjuice in the back a little later. So that was one thing. Then also the Elite came out and started cutting promos, and who was it? Sami Callihan came out talking about how he was going to win the Battle Royal that's happening soon. I'm not sure when they said it was going to happen, but he said that he was going to win this Battle Royal for the #1 contender spot, and he was going to finish what he started against Omega at Slammiversary. And
okay.
all of a sudden, like the Elite are talking shit, and Frankie Kazarian comes from behind and attacks the Elite. Sami Callihan gets in the ring, and they make a 6-man. Initially, I was very concerned because when they go to the back, Tommy Dreamer is there. This man finesses himself into every goddamn storyline and Impact, dude. I swear to God. So, like, when they got back there, I was like, bro, like, please don't. Like, please don't. It ends up being that Eddie Edwards is going to be in the match instead. So it's going to be Eddie Edwards, Frankie Kazarian back in the Impact Zone for the first time in a while. And the draw, Sami Callihan versus the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega in a 6-man in next week's main event. So that's pretty much all I got for Impact for this week.
I was the reason why heavy side was because I know about the spoiler alert for that battle royale.
Okay. Don't tell us.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'll let you guys garner up your opinions when it happens. And then I also just want to say I just want everybody's opinion. I personally think that Eddie Edwards is one of the worst
overrated
promo guys. No. One of the worst promo guys ever in wrestling. He can't cut a promo for the life of him, So I don't know if you guys feel the same way. And yeah, he's hello. I mean, I guess you could say overrated in the Impact standard, yes. But
Davey was the talker in the tag team. There's a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
In the American Wolves, Davey Richards was the talker. Eddie Edwards was the guy that stood in the back like this.
I haven't watched too much of Eddie Edwards to form that opinion, I guess. So far, he's definitely not special on the mic ring, though. For sure. I was really surprised to find out that he was a GHC heavyweight champion. The reaction I had when they were doing the roll call for a heavyweight title match, and to see his face there, that threw me off. But yeah, he is pretty generic on the mic. I guess I would say that he doesn't blow me away.
He better than Nick Gage, though. I tell you that.
Bro.
I tell you that much. Though. Yeah, is there anybody else got anything on Impact for the week? No. All right. No. Well, let's get right to SmackDown then. Give you a quick run through. We go talk our goods and bads. Give our show of the week, superstar of the week. Push, I need your idea. Because I don't think I got your idea about or a storyline that you would do to make WWE better. Like right now, if you was in creative. So we'll do that after we do the rundown. I'll give you time to think about it.
I already got one right now.
Okay, go ahead then.
It's simple as fuck. Turn Naomi heel, have her join the bloodline, have her beat up Bianca, and that's that. Like now, it's right there in the books.
Listen, before Money in the Bank, did I not say Naomi should win the Money in the Bank and she should go fight Bianca and join the bloodline?
Yeah, you did. You did. Yeah.
That was one of the most actually retweeted clips that I've had on Twitter. Mm-hmm. So we're right there. And then I said earlier, since Natalya is out, have Sonya, the worst GMs in history, Sonya and what's his name?
Adam Pearce.
Tamina. Yeah, Adam go up to Tamina. What a damn computer. I'd rather take the computer back than and Brad Maddox and all them. Bring them back.
Nah, get the GM back.
Just get that's what I'm talking about. That computer that Mike Cole go to.
Nah, that was annoying back in the days.
Nah, shit, that was legendary, brother.
Oh, it was.
that was legendary. But what I would do, since Natalya is out, I had them go up to Tamina and say, "Hey, we give you 7 days to find a partner, or you will have to forfeit your titles." Bow. She bring out Naomi. They run through whoever they run through. All the way up, even join the bloodline, all the way up until Natalya comes back and be like, "Hey, I want my tag team partner back." Now you got another storyline with Naomi and Natalya fighting over Tamina, and I mean, it just worked out for so many different reasons. You can put them on both shows, and then like we said, if they have Gonzalez and Rhea end up being a tag team on the main roster, that could be the team they ultimately lose to.
Yeah, I can tell you right now too. Natalya, she's coming back from injury to manage her cousin.
Who's her cousin?
Davey Boy Smith Jr. signed with
Oh, I
WWE.
forgot.
He's gonna be on SmackDown.
Oh shit! I totally forgot about that.
So when she comes back, if she's not even 100%, they're gonna have her going out because her and him are really tight. They're really tight. So that's why I'm like, it. When I heard he got signed and to SmackDown, the same show that she's on, I was just kind of like, I know where that's gonna go. Heart Foundation again, 2.0. Here we go again. Like,
hey, Lizard, get that up on the Nia and Tamina. That ain't happening, buddy.
Yeah.
I'd rather have.
I had that dream too.
Yeah, it's
and
not
that's not
happening.
happening.
It's done.
I mean,
brother.
Because once again, that's you're giving WWE a powerhouse team, and they're gonna just fail them. They're not gonna know what to do with them. They're gonna have
turn them into a comedy act, is what they're gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna have the titles, and then they're gonna lose on some fluke shit, and then everyone's gonna be upset again. And I'm like, no, this is what y'all want. This is what y'all get. So no, I let that dream go.
Yeah. So breaking news before we get to SmackDown. Former WWE star Ryback has entered the SummerSlam 2021 announcer contest on TikTok. So he's trying to win his way to become an announcer for SummerSlam. He talk all this noise about this company, but he can't get away from him.
Y'all remember when he made that poll asking people wanted him to come back? He had retire as one of the options. That shit won.
Yeah, every time.
That's all I'm gonna say. Every time, yeah.
So
that's all I got to say about that.
I just want to throw that at y'all. I just saw that on Twitter right before I went into my notes. So let's get into SmackDown. I'm gonna do a quick rundown. If you haven't seen SmackDown yet, I suggest you go watch some highlights on YouTube. So let's get right into it. Cena came out, talked trash about Roman Reigns, of course, saying that Roman is scared of him, Roman is dodging him, this and that, yada yada. Corbin comes out, the press Corbin, which is probably one of his best characters. He comes out begging for money, begging for movie roles. John Cena gives him whatever he had in his wallet. Corbin proceeds to be like, "Oh, that's it. You cheap. You this and that. Cheap. You know. First of all, say thank you, man. Because if it was Goldust, he would have gave you nothing. He said it on Twitter that Goldust ain't giving you shit if you ask him for some money and you down on your luck. So better Cena than Dustin Rhodes. At the end of the day, Cena gave him an attitude adjustment. You move on. Rey Mysterio defeats Jimmy Uso thanks to Dom doing the same thing that Jay has been doing the last 2 weeks. Reggie actually had a legit match on SmackDown, something he hasn't had on Raw. Put the 24/7 title on SmackDown. Just put everything on SmackDown at this point. He beats Chad Gable, or he escapes Chad Gable. Let me say that. Shinsuke gets the victory over Apollo Crews in a 6-man tag match where it was Shinsuke, Big E, and Cesaro versus Apollo and Dolphin, Bobby Roode, or Robert Roode, whatever they call him now, which is setting up Shinsuke to be the #1 contender for the IC championship, which I like, but I don't like the fact that Apollo has had a losing record since becoming champion.
Like same. I didn't like how he lost the match.
Yep.
Like it put a bad taste in my mouth. Like he could pin like anybody. He could pin like Dolph Ziggler or somebody like that.
Yeah,
you already know what it is.
It's like we gave you the belt.
A spot.
Yeah, we gave you the belt. Now you finna lose every week, but you still a champion though, my guy. So keeping it moving. Sasha came out. I'm sorry, Bianca came out. She's doing her interview. Carmella came out again. Everybody went crazy. Like, no, don't do this shit again. You turned into Monday Night Raw. Zelina came out. They started getting into it. Bianca. Next thing you know, here comes Sasha. And it's boss time. Michael Cole going crazy. Fire entrance on that screen with Sasha. I give her that. That new screen works for her with the whole LED lights. They come out and, she teamed up with Bianca, which later on led to Bianca and Sasha having a match with Zelina and Carmella. Bianca and Sasha won, of course. The show went off, which I'm skipping a few things, but we're going to get back into the Roman and stuff. But the show went off with Sasha attacking Bianca, which we all saw coming. It's like the Big Show. We know when he's going to turn face. We know when he's going to turn heel. It happens 47 times a year. So we all knew that was coming. Plus, Bayley gone. Who else do they have for SummerSlam? Actually, that's a bad question. They got plenty of people. Nobody's built up right now for SummerSlam.
I mean, they're trying to build up Tony Storm, I guess.
For Bianca.
But she's not ready yet, though.
The fans don't even know who Tony Storm is.
I know.
So that's the bad thing, because they shit on NXT so bad that people stop watching NXT. even though it's the best thing got going. So,
hey,
and then, but let's
developmental.
Let's get into the crazy thing of the night. Roman and Finn doing a contract signing, which was interrupted by Corbin, which I liked. I did like. Corbin came out, attacked Finn, looked like he was about to sign a contract. I was like, oh shit, let Corbin sign it. Let them do a match next week or something or whatever. But it was a SummerSlam contract, so I get why it didn't happen. Cena comes out, attacks Corbin, and signs the SummerSlam contract. Now Cena is official, which we all knew it was going to happen anyway, but yeah, they could have did a little bit better with the contract signing because the name did have Finn Balor and Roman Reigns.
I put that on my thing. I was going through SmackDown again, and I saw that. I paused it real quick because I was just like, does that really say Finn's name at the bottom of the contract? It did.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's like me going to WWE headquarters right now and they about to sign a new creative guy. I'm like, nah, rock bottom, pow. My name is on the list now. I'm the new creator. What's up? What you gonna do about it there?
Shit would be anarchy if the world was run like that.
Man, I'm telling you. And then, of course, we got Edge getting beat up, destroyed by Seth Rollins, which I absolutely love. I'm a fan of both, but I love this rivalry just to begin with because it goes back to 2014, I believe, when they first interacted with each other.
I think so.
And I mean, Edge can still go, and it's Seth Rollins, dog. I mean, I'm good with it. So overall, that's SmackDown for you, good and bad. What do you have? Go ahead, Alex.
I'll start first. So let me look at my the Cena and Corbin match. That's a good, like, it was entertaining. It did what it did. The next one, Rey Mysterio versus Jimmy Uso. It was a good match, but I just feel like it just felt like a different version of like a rematch, but it was whatever. It was a good match though. I don't lie. Yeah, that's a good. So the Sasha Banks stuff, like, I just get like, I don't understand like how Bianca like trusts her off rip, like when like what's called the last time you saw her, bro, like I'm talking about in the ring, like she literally betrayed you and then you had a match, like how you trust her. Like I found that a little bit weird, but it was whatever.
Hold on, you say the last time Bianca and Sasha was in the ring, Sasha
No,
betrayed
I'm talking about besides like WrestleMania, like I'm talking about like how Sasha Banks betrayed Bianca and like all of a sudden now they're like friends. Like I found that a little bit weird, in my opinion.
That's that WWE logic, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's the whole respect factor, man. They gonna live off the whole WrestleMania hype, and it's like, all right, well, Sasha's been gone for some time. She healed up, so they're gonna be cool. And then, oh yeah, I'm gonna protect you because I got the little respect factor, but you still got something that I want. It's always the ulterior motive. So.
All right, so the Reginald versus Chad Gable match. What's called Reginald he's doing a good job. Like I think like beside like he made the 24/7 title like look a little bit better than it was like a long ass time ago. Like he's doing entertaining stuff like that. Let Flippy do stuff and whatever.
Listen, I'm a Reginald stan, bro. This is a Reginald stan account right here, bro.
Yeah.
listen. Somewhere in the world, Sin Cara is smiling right now. He's using
he mad. He's mad.
Yeah, aren't Reggie and Sin Cara beefing on Twitter?
Yeah, they beefing over.
They are.
Jesus.
Like the match was I put in like it's all right, like in the middle. What's next? Roman Reigns versus the contract signing stuff. It was good. Like what's called, like I don't understand how like somebody like comes out of nowhere and like signs a contract which is not meant for them, but like I guess it works because it's just they have stars. But it was like anybody else, it won't work. But it's cool.
Look, this is my thing. So I hated the concept because I hated the fact that Finn got disrespected.
Yeah,
facts.
That's one thing. If it was Corbin who signed the contract, I actually had no problem with that.
Exactly.
I had no problem whatsoever with Corbin throwing himself into because Because like now it's like, yeah, he's down bad right now, and I don't know what it is, but whatever gimmick you put Baron Corbin in, he does pretty freaking well. He does pretty freaking well in. Like he don't, and like he's gonna give it his all. But I feel like if you gave him a legit match with Roman, I'm pretty sure it'll turn some heads.
Yeah. Also, plus, what's called like Roman Reigns is like undefeated, and what's called the last time he lost it was against Baron Corbin. Just putting it out there.
That's true too.
All right, so
but then I also think about it, right? Baron Corbin still has the most protected finisher in WWE.
Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah, nobody has kicked out of that move.
And then if he was gonna have a match against Roman Reigns, that means that he would not have to. He would basically not have to use the end of days.
Yeah, and nobody hasn't even talked about it. Like nobody has ever kicked out. Like how they talk about the One Ring Angel. Like they don't even talk about like the end of the days. How I haven't seen nobody ever kicked out of that.
Right.
Like, but it's cool though. All right, so the 6-man tag team match. It was cool. It was cool. I just feel like I've seen this match before, but like they're mixing a bunch of people together. But it's cool though. But I just hate the ending. Like, why you have your champion lose the match though? Like, that makes no sense in my opinion.
That's WWE's doing this shit now.
Right.
Yeah,
Also,
beat the champion, get the title shot. That's what they've been doing on Raw. That's what they've been doing. They did that on SmackDown with Tegan Nox and Shotzi. They beat the tag champions 2 weeks in a row, and they didn't even get a shot. They just they just beat their champions because that somehow makes sense.
It's like what's called? Wait, who was in the match? Yeah, there was like Dolph Ziggler and what's called? It says Bobby Roode right here, whatever. It says Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode like were in the match too. It could like pin them, like because I think like before this match, Apollo lost to Big E, right? Like he lost to Big E before this match.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like you have your champion in a losing streak. Like I don't understand about that part, but it's cool. So the Seth Rollins versus Edge stuff. What's called? Like I liked it, but what's called? I wasn't paying attention, but when I looked at it back, and I was like, something just caught me off guard. Like when Edge made his like what's called his entrance, and they cut to commercial break, and when they came back, and what's called Seth Rollins was in the ring, I'm like, what's called? I was like, what happened? Like what happened? Like what's called? Like all the attack and everything happened during the commercial. I didn't like that, but it's it's whatever. And Bianca and what's called and Sasha Banks versus Carmella and Selena Vega match. It was cool, but we already know what was gonna happen at the end. Like what's called Sasha was gonna turn on her, like anyways. And I think that's it. And also what's called like if for some reason Cena and Baron Corbin wants to have like a rivalry, they could talk about what John Cena did to Baron Corbin, how he cost him the WWE Championship. They could talk about that. But that's all I got for SmackDown though.
It's most likely going to be Finn versus Baron.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying if they want to do that, they could talk about what happened. I'm just saying.
So, all right, what you got, Max?
All right, so I don't know if anybody saw that after SmackDown, Reggie did an interview where he has no accent anymore.
Just like Kofi.
Yeah,
and he admitted that he's been putting up a hoax this whole time. He was an unemployed dude, needed to get in the business. He saw that Carmella was looking for a sommelier, so he put on a fake accent and got hired, and it was his way in. So that's his backstory, is he's a guy who's a wrestler who just saw an opportunity and he took it. So I was like,
I heard that.
But why can't you tell that on the main show? Why do you have to tell that on?
Because you gotta watch Talking Smack, my guy. You gotta watch Talking Smack
or watch the
why.
I mean, SmackDown was 2 hours too, so it's whatever, Like
Apollo career. I feel like honestly, Apollo's stuck right now. I feel like they don't know what they're doing with him. So he's stuck in this purgatory right now where he's holding this title that we know they don't care about the Intercontinental title. They haven't cared about that title in many, many years. And he's stuck in this middle position right now where it's like, they have talent on that show to challenge him. They have people on that show that could make him, he can have great matches with, but they just don't use him properly right now. It feels like he's just stuck. Every week they roll him out there. It's like, here comes the Apollo match. All right. That's the Apollo match, like. It just seems like he's stuck. I also made a note that Pat is amazing. Pat is one of the greatest commentators right now that SmackDown has ever had, and he's made Michael Cole a lot funner to listen to. I mean, he makes fun of Michael Cole, the boss time. Oh, it's the boss time. You know, he makes fun of him.
Especially during Shinsuke Nakamura entrance, he always gets up like that makes me
he's
smile.
so playful. It's amazing. It's amazing that the
McAfee,
chemistry with those two. He's made Cole tolerable again.
McAfee had Cole on his show like a couple weeks back, and Cole even said, like, I'm actually, Cole said that he's actually having fun doing his job again.
You can tell.
Yeah, it's showing.
Into it.
Yeah.
I've made some notes. Is there something wrong with me when I'm 35 years old and I feel like I connect better with Baron Corbin than anybody else in the entire WWE company? Like his character to me, I'm just like, yo, why do I see this guy and all of a sudden I'm like, why am I a fan of Baron Corbin?
Relatable.
Like, guy in his mid 30s who's over here like, I don't know what I'm doing. I suck at my job. I show up to it. I'm not good at it. I'm never gonna get a promotion, but they're never gonna fire me. I'm balding. I don't have nice stuff anymore. Like I'm just sitting there like, God damn, did he peak when he was in his 20s? Hell yeah, he did. This is a great storyline. This is a great storyline of a guy who's like, I'm in my mid 30s. I'm just looking for it. I'm just looking for it. I feel bad for Edge, but probably Edge is doing some of the best work right now in his career. His promos are on point every week.
You feel bad for him?
Doing some great. I mean, he's selling great for these people. He's right now. Him and Seth are gonna. They might put on match of the night. I mean, that match is gonna be just.
They definitely will.
They storytell. They both know how to tell a story in the ring, out of the ring. Great promos. You can see this is a connection that was smart of them to work on. I don't know if Sasha's gonna turn first or Bianca's gonna turn first. I kind of feel like they might do the swerve and have Bianca do the turn on Sasha before anything else because.
Wait, I thought
Sasha already turned.
Yeah,
I know, but I mean,
what do you mean?
You kind of already knew that was coming, but who's going to be the real bad guy out of this going into that match? Will we really feel sympathy for Sasha? Or are we going to come out of this feeling like
she can be a face? She can be a face. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. I mean, both girls, they can easily make either or a face or a heel. That's why I was kind of feeling like at the end of this, I've seen it where we've seen Charlotte jump someone. By the end of it, everyone's cheering for Charlotte, and
Bianca too popular right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's too much of a baby face to be like turning a heel. Like
she's crossing over to the hip hop. She's taking pictures with Meg the Stallion and all that and stuff.
Oh, did you see that? Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Bianca's on that level. She's all wearing her jewelry. She's showing up in Rolls Royces. She's on that level right now where. She's taking pictures with people that you're just like, what? Bianca's getting that bougie life, huh? I mean, and then where's Sasha? She used to live that life, but I mean,
she's
was she like what's called was she like acting or something before? Like she
that didn't work out. John Cena's thing with the John Cena versus Roman. We got to remember that John Cena is going to be going against 3 other guys. I mean, it's going to be 3 guys initially at that match. It's going to be John Cena versus the Bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Like, is John Cena really going to beat 3 guys at SummerSlam? Is he really going to overcome 3 dudes and bury the 3 guys that they've been burying? They've been.
I mean, it's Super Cena. You never know. But
that's what I'm saying.
He can't beat Roman one-on-one anyway. We already seen it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, is John Cena really going to beat 3 guys again and bury him at it? Are we going to see another SummerSlam burying by John Cena where it's like, what happened to main event Uso? What happened to, that's why I'm just a little worried about this John Cena match.
I hope this match is losing. I hope this match is better than the match they had at Backlash.
Absolutely.
Because I remember watching that and being disappointed. I like the promos going back and forth, even though back then Roman wasn't in his prime like he is now. But I remember watching the match, and I was very disappointed by the match itself.
I saw people saying to beat Super Cena, it would make sense to take 60 super kicks to the face and 12 Superman punches and 7 spears. And
that's not happening.
And the other thing, too, is just the whole contract signing, how everybody was tripping on it because people were randomly going out there to sign the contract. We're talking about wrestling. I mean, we've had custody matches. We've had people's moms on a pole match. We've had,
legendary.
The most absurd matches in the world. And people to be like, well, that wasn't the proper name. We're talking about wrestling here, people. There is a man who's a half bull, half human in Impact. We're talking wrestling.
I had no issue with that.
Sports entertainment with Vince. You can't say wrestling with Vince. It's sports.
I'm sorry. This is sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Like I
Sports
had no
entertainment.
issue with that. It's just that I feel like they could have done it a little bit better. Like just that's my opinion.
So,
Well,
Dart,
other than that's all I gotta take for SmackDown.
what you got, Dart?
For the good, I had the Jimmy Ray match. I thought that was a really dope match, and I didn't mind the ending. But like I think Dope, you said it earlier. What do they do after these two have their tag match? That's my only concern long term.
I feel like they're gonna face the Street Profits or something like that. If that's when they come back. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I don't. What's his name? Isn't Montez Ford still out for a while? Like I don't know if he's gonna
injured?
be back after.
He's injured.
Yeah.
He's legit injured.
Yeah, he's injured. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I did not know that. Oh, I did not know
yeah.
that.
So
Yeah, it's surgery.
So in the good, I also had parts of the contract signing. So I liked the interaction between Finn and Roman. I thought they had really good chemistry together. I liked Finn particularly. And I liked just their interaction, how Roman was basically telling Finn, like, Cena's trying to come in, thinks you ain't shit. And Finn's just like, well, I am fucking the shit. Like, I don't know who you think you're talking to right now, but I'm going to fucking take your title from you. You can like keep playing with my name is basically how Finn took it. So then from that point on, I just kind of.
Also, my fault.
I was kind of out of it.
I'm sorry for cutting off, but like, but I like the part when what's called Roman Reigns said that I'm gonna smash you back to NXT. That was a good part. That was a funny part.
The part afterwards with what's his name, Baron coming to sign the contract. I like that because it's too soon. It is too soon to have Finn versus Roman. Too soon to have that match.
Absolutely.
I am so fine with this being pushed to after SummerSlam. If you want to have a Finn Baron Corbin thing for SummerSlam, go for it. I was so against this at the end of last week's SmackDown, and I was so vocal about it. I was just like, I don't want there to be a three-way. I don't want these two to even be together. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that they run through this so quickly. And so I'm glad at this point that they've decided to not do it. I also don't like how they got to John Cena and Roman Reigns, though, because they could have just had the match. They could have just made it. You know, you could have had Roman come out last week and say, my answer is no. Go off the air. Couple weeks of shenanigans. Roman finally accepts the match. That's all you had to do. We get to the match. We didn't have to add Finn and all this other shit to begin with. Yeah. So I didn't. That's the part I didn't like. So it was kind of
open the show every week with that pop that he gets. And that would have been just enough reason for Roman to hate him and be like, why do you guys cheer for this guy? He's been gone for years. Why are you cheering for him? You know, like it would have been easy just to put that into a match and tease that for weeks instead of doing this whole, well, Cena signed the contract.
Yeah.
What?
With Finn's name on the bottom of it. Cena's promo in general, I thought that was just okay. I didn't really care for it, to be completely honest. I thought it was just like a run-of-the-mill Cena promo. When Baron came in, I actually thought that the segment started to pick up. I really do like this Baron Corbin character. And the interaction between Baron and Cena was very funny, especially when it leads to the later segment. And like Alex pointed out, you had Cena costing Corbin his Money in the Bank cash-in. Yeah. Now you have Cena costing Corbin another title opportunity all these years later. So that was actually pretty funny. So I did like that. The 24th,
he's gonna root his failure in life back to John Cena.
Pretty much.
Like it started with you, John.
He's got somebody to blame. The 24/7 title match with Gable and Reggie. I thought that was okay.
Yeah, same.
It was inoffensive. The only thing that I thought was weird was that it's a 24/7 title match. So how is Reggie winning a match by disqualification? So that was my one thing. I was just like, this doesn't make any sense.
You, Otis.
It's not the hard. Yeah, it's not the hardcore championship.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Seth
DQ
promo.
in a steel cage. That's
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Get on the ground, Otis.
Jesus Christ. Seth's promo and attack on Edge. I thought that was mid. Also, I just thought that was kind of there for the show. It keeps the program going. Okay. Now, Sasha's return, I had that as a mid return. I didn't.
Same.
Yeah, I was not as cool with this return. I was actually pretty down on it. See, this is a perfect podcast, Dope, because you were like, how would we book certain things and make things better? Yeah. So I actually looked at the calendar. There's 4 weeks left until SummerSlam. So hear me out. This is how I would have booked Sasha's return. So week 1, you have Bianca get attacked by what's it called? Vega and Carmella. Sasha comes out to help, raises Bianca's hand, but Bianca's looking confused. You know, she just beat this woman for her title. All right, so she's just like, "Why are you helping me?" And that's the end of that. So next week, we set it up where Bianca comes out and asks Sasha for an explanation for why she helped her. And Sasha says, you know, we had a great match. We won ESPYs, this, that, and the third. I respect you for all the stuff that we did. But I want a rematch to show that I'm still the boss and all that stuff. And while she's cutting this promo, she can say like subtle heel shit and stuff like that. But, that's the thing. So they have that interaction. And then the next week you set up for Carmella and Vega versus Bianca and Sasha. Sasha's first match back. This is the second 2 weeks out from SummerSlam. So throughout the show, you focus on Sasha and Bianca just like talking to each other. Bianca's still not like hesitant to trust Sasha. And then Sasha is playing subtle heel throughout the show. You don't know what she's going to do. We get to the match, goes off without a hitch. There's plenty of options for Sasha to turn her back on Bianca and just nail her. She never does it. And then we get to the final week. SmackDown before SummerSlam, they have a contract signing, a face-to-face, whatever. And that's the week that, after all of this, Bianca just lets her guard down for that 1 second and gets hit with the fucking bank statement. Just like fucking Shawn Michaels to John Cena before WrestleMania 23. You just have that fucking moment. And then that sets up going into the pay-per-view on Saturday. That is how I would have booked this. That is way better than blowing your load in one night. That's why I didn't like this. That's why this was just mid. They did what they had to do, and we got a heel turn and all that stuff. We're still 3 weeks out from SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. I think the reason they rushed it was because the storytelling for WrestleMania was so bad. I think they're trying to see if they can do it better this time.
We'll see.
That's my only guess for them doing it like they did it.
They
want to see if they can tell a better story this time. Another idea that you just gave me, because we was talking about the Mysterios and the Usos and all that, who's next, and Montez being hurt and all that. SummerSlam, let's say we just get through it with the tag division being the way it is on both sides.
Sure.
Survivor Series, when Raw versus SmackDown go down, they need to unify the tag division there.
Yeah, they got to.
That's what, if they're not gonna mix it in, like I said earlier, bring up random matches with NXT guys and NXT UK guys, and I know the UK is hard because of the travel and all that, but if you're not gonna pop up 1 week for Imperium or Grizzled Young Veterans calling out the Usos or AJ and Amos and all them, just unify the titles.
Yep.
Just like you got the women's tag titles unified for both brands, do the same with the men, but do it at Survivor Series where it actually means something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, storytelling. It's not that damn hard. It's not that damn hard. That's what pissed me off about these writers and Raw and creative. It's not really hard to please wrestling fans, dog. Just make sense and put in the effort. And we're
don't treat people like idiots.
Yeah. Don't think we're gonna forget Garza Garza shoving the rolls up Drew Gulak's ass. And then 3 weeks later, y'all book him as the face in that same match on Main Event.
I mean, ain't nobody watching Main Event like that, so
but it was a lot of people in the arena, and people like me actually went back and watched it.
I remember reading and being told that the whole Bianca with the Bailey build-up for SummerSlam was going to lead into a hair versus hair match. And that's why Bailey was doing the etching of the stencils in the hair, and she was doing the whole thing, is because Bianca Belair even said at the beginning of this year in an interview that what's one thing you want to change about your character? She wants to lose that big old weave that she wears to the ring. She says that thing is heavy as hell.
It is.
It kind of she's like, it's to a point in my career where I really feel like it's not necessary to have it anymore, because she's not really dependable on that as her character anymore. But she was saying that eventually she wants to lose that lock, and she was saying that she was seeing a feud with a person like a Bailey or maybe like a Sasha being built into something where she can get that lock cut off, where she doesn't have to go out there every day and wear this 3-pound weave that she whips around every night, that she's just like, it's
literally part of her entrance. It starts off with the lip whipping the ponytail. So,
but see, that's why they were saying it wouldn't be her losing a title; it'd be her losing something like her hair, which is something. I mean, hair grows
Part of
back.
her.
The titles,
Yeah.
And that's why the Bailey thing would have led into, because they were saying Bailey was etching all those stencils, the names, all that other stuff in her hair. It was kind of leading into this whole thing that Bailey is very proud of her like weird hair that she has, this mom soccer cut. And it was going to be this lead up to where we were going to believe that Bailey's going to get her head shaved. But Bianca getting her hair, just that whip cut off, would have been just, oh no. But at the same time, she would have had her actual hair. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's kind of sad to see, like, now they're kind of forcing in, like, rushing the Sasha feud right now really fast on us, where it's like Dark said, we could have had a nice buildup, but because of the Bailey thing and they don't have anybody they can trust right now to put in that spotlight for that big spot, we're getting forced right now, the Sasha thing right now.
So I got a question for all y'all before we head off. We already pretty much said that once Becky come back, she's next in line for the Raw Women's title, right?
Yeah.
Who's next after Sasha and Bianca? Who do y'all see being next on SmackDown?
I mean, we're gonna get like 2 more rematches, and then
I'm talking about after
maybe
all
Naomi.
That. Yeah,
maybe Naomi. I'm hoping Naomi.
I mean, if they build her right, I want Toni Storm to be champion.
It would be nice with Toni Storm or Naomi. I'm gonna piss y'all off though. Give us some time. You're gonna see Lacey Evans right back in that picture.
I think after SummerSlam, it's not ending with Sasha. I mean, I don't think it's ending with Sasha.
I forgot about her.
Bro.
My goodness.
I forgot
Sasha and Bianca are ending at SummerSlam. I think it's going to go on until the draft, and then someone's getting drafted out.
No, it don't need to go that long, honestly, bro. It really don't. I'm sorry.
They don't. But they will drag stuff out that long because they got no idea what to do until this draft in October.
Yeah. So Lacey's been gone for a while.
I forgot about Lacey.
Yeah, I thought she got pregnant or something like that, right?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
But I feel, I mean, like, that's like because Becky will be back soon, and I think Lacey will be right back like a couple months right after her. And they were high on her. I mean, shit, you don't get thrown into a Ric Flair feud and no reason. So
I mean, she could actually go in the ring though if they let her.
Yeah,
if they let her. She couldn't go in the ring. It's just the storylines and the gimmicks that they give her are just so bad.
That shit kills me that they actually had to go on TV and say that the kid was not Ric Flair's. I was like, yo.
There's so much wrong with that. So, all right, let's get into a show of the week, superstar of the week. Who y'all got?
Show of the week. Let me think. I'll give it to SmackDown. I'll give it to SmackDown. Superstar of the week. Dakota Kai. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Push, go ahead.
I would say show of the week. I'll probably give it to SmackDown as well. Superstar of the week. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I gotta go Dakota Kai, man. It's time. It's time, baby. Team kick all day, baby. Like, for real.
Okay, 2 for 2. What you got, Max?
Show of the week. I'd probably say, I'll be honest with you. I really like the AEW show. Like I said, I'm not too hot on them right now, but watching how they're kind of paying off a lot of the storyline, with a lot of these companies added in there too. It's kind of just weird. It's really something different. You know what I'm saying? Like SmackDown is the same SmackDown that we saw last week. Raw was the same Raw we saw last week. Impact and AEW right now, we're watching just to see what it's like, that WCW feeling back in the days. You know, you don't know who's going to be showing up, but the superstar I'd say that really stood out this week, shit, I'd probably say was Baron Corbin. I mean, Corbin's storytelling right now is just on point, down to the stained shirt, no shaving, just grungy, sitting in the back, depressed on his phone. Like he's telling a story right now that we're all starting to feel for him. You know, like who the fuck would ever thought that we'd be sitting here saying, "Man, I'm a Baron Corbin guy."
I always like Baron. I just hate King Corbin.
I like the for a while.
Yeah,
but I'm like, with the whole crown thing, with the being the king and everything else before that. I mean, it's
got old because it went
part
too
where
long.
we're like, Baron's a real dude. You know, like it's legit. There's a legit Baron Corbin push right now.
Like the only person that did a king gimmick probably was Booker T. Besides that, nobody else.
Well, I mean,
you
got Jerry the King Lawler.
What?
If King Regal, like, everybody done it. It just went too long with Corbin because there was no more King of the Rings, and it lasted way too long. And he lost too many matches.
I heard there was gonna be Queen of the Ring. I heard that.
Yeah, well, whatever. You know, that's how I feel about that, honestly, because it's gonna be Charlotte probably, or it's man, yeah. When we see the tournament bracket, then we'll talk about it. Because right now I don't have high hopes for it, honestly. They just doing that shit because it really they be getting heat for Mickey James and all that stuff and all.
Right, and it really all depends on. It really all depends on how they set up the bracket. If you're adding NXT UK, if you're able to that's that. Like if you're able to get like a Miko Satomura like into that tournament, you know, and like have quality matchups, you know, that lead to a good final, then they could probably do something.
Well, I think it depends on how they treat the winner. You know, like King of the Ring tournaments used to be like the old school Money in the Bank. Like they were all the old school Money in the Bank like contract things. Like if you won a King of the Ring tournament, you were getting pushed. You know, unless you're Billy Kidman, then you're gonna get roasted, and then not Billy Kidman, but Billy Gunn. Yeah, then you're gonna get roasted by The Rock, and it's all over. But like, yeah, like if they run it like that, like if this is just another tournament, I'll still watch. That'll be cool. But like, if they can actually turn it into something where the winner is like pushed as that next top star, or gets a title shot too, you know, that'll be dope.
Isn't how Brock Lesnar got pushed too during the King of the Ring tournament?
He came in hot.
I know. Yeah, he was just. Brock Lesnar was just immediately pushed.
Came out like a cannon, bro.
Yeah, he was just pushed.
Baron Corbin playing this role of like telling people not to do the King of the Ring and being like, no, it'll ruin your life. Don't do it.
Like a Madden
do the King of the Ring. Don't do it. Look where it took me. Like I want to see Baron Corbin being that guy. Like don't do it, but they put him in the King of the Ring anyways, and then he ends up winning it somehow again. Like who's won it 2 times?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? No one's ever won King of the Ring.
It should have been Triple H, but he got in trouble for the curtain call. You know.
So no one's ever won it twice. That's what I'm saying. WWE is about history. It would be weird to see Baron Corbin get back to being rich again by winning the King of the Ring, but that would be WWE storyline.
I mean, I've always said there's only 2, maybe 3 people who I want to see as King of the Ring, and I mean they're obvious choices. Ricochet, because they Ricochet gimmick it out. Montez Ford, because you bring out the whole King Tez format, and then you can have a King Ricochet versus King Tez, because if you remember in social media, they were going back and forth on who's the real king of wrestling. And then somebody else that'd be kind of far-fetched, Xavier Woods, man. Like
he wants it.
Yeah. Like that's it. Just like those, like have that work some way down the line. It works out.
I'm so down for an Xavier Woods push. You don't even understand. Like I'm hoping that he goes healed so he gets a soul. I'm hoping anything for this man, because he is just he's so fucking talented. He's so fucking talented, and yet it's his time. Big E's got his time. Kofi's had his time. It's Xavier's time. I mean, he's the most guy. He has a TV show on GTV. He has a #1 YouTube gaming show. He's over. He's over right now. Right. Now is the time to put this man in a title spot.
Hey, what's good, Ricky? Appreciate the follow, man. Make sure you follow my guy Push Play DJ and MT Darkness. Max, do you stream?
Yeah, Max does stream. He does stream. Yeah,
I actually show GCW and stuff like that, and
My bad,
other
Max.
indie wrestling companies. So yeah, I show a lot.
I was
of the
gonna
small
give him
time
a shout.
stuff.
I was gonna give him a shout out at the end of the stream, but
yeah, my bad,
no,
Max.
make
I would have
sure.
been shouting you out, man. My bad, man.
No worries.
Make sure to give Max a shout out. He's in the Discord too. He's always plugging his shit in the plug your shit channel.
Got
like
you.
he showed both nights of Homecoming.
Like
And
I said, I just want to show people that there's more wrestling out there than just New Japan, AEW, and WWE.
Right.
You know, like
he
there's
showed
a whole world out
Bloodsport.
there.
You're doing the
Everything.
good work,
So-
bro.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the first ever Nick Gage match I watched like all the way through was on your stream, Max. So yeah, keep that shit up. Before that, I had only known about him fucking almost killing David Arquette, but
And what we're
Yeah.
doing, Ricky, is we're actually talking wrestling right now. This is a wrestling podcast, an interactive wrestling podcast that me and Dark do every Sunday. Well, for most Sundays when we're both available. And you know, we send links out for y'all to get on and join us and actually talk to us. The only thing we ask, you don't get us banned and you don't, you know, act all crazy and stuff when you get on. So shout out to Max and Push Play as always, and Alex. So Dart, who's Superstar of the Week, Show of the Week?
does Sunday count as the beginning of the week?
That's fine.
Or is it okay? Because I'm thinking that I might go with the Wrestle Grand Slam show from Sun.
I was see, that's why I wasn't gonna say it because I didn't know if Sunday counted. Because I was gonna go Wrestle Grand Slam and I was gonna go Shingo as my wrestler of the week.
Oh, there we go. Okay, great minds,
okay.
man. There we
So
go.
we're on the same page.
All right. So yeah, I'm going Wrestle Grand Slam and Shingo. He had a fire match with Hiroshi Tanahashi,
Absolutely.
who was a last minute substitute, but they ended up fucking killing it. That was a pretty much perfect show, other than the New Japan Rambo, which is always bullshit, anyways. But yeah, even
Owens, though.
for
Shout out to
real.
Crown Jewel.
Yeah. I would say the lowest I would say like the worst match on the card, and it wasn't even that bad, was the junior tag team match. And like I said, that wasn't even that bad, because if that's the worst match on the show, then that should tell you something.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the show was fire. So yeah, Wrestle Grand Slam, and then I'm going with Shingo Takagi, who's by the way, by far front runner for Wrestler of the Year since Ospreay got injured. So he is fucking running with it right now.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely didn't see that Sunday. Had a show last. That's kind of tough for me. I've been trying to figure it out while y'all was talking. Y'all went through it kind of fast. Than I expected. I want to say, I would say AEW, man, but that main event, like I said, I just don't get the Nick Gage thing. AEW, other than that, AEW was super fun as it's been since the fans came back. I really hope we don't have another pandemic and they have to go back to Daly's Place and the Thunderdome.
I bought tickets to Arthur Ashe. I bought tickets to Arthur Ashe, so I hope to God we at least make it to that show.
But it's getting a little bad out here.
I know. I know. I'm trying to stay positive. To stay positive.
Oh man, it's getting bad. But I mean, SmackDown was good. NXT was real good too.
I mean, everything was good besides Raw. That's the sad thing.
Yeah. Facts. I think I'm gonna lean towards NXT just for the simple fact Joe came back. I've been waiting on that for a long time, and that really made like my week as far as wrestling. I've been waiting on Joe to come back for a long time. Joe came back. We still got Adam and Kyle O'Reilly. We still got the laughs from Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. Just pure comedy, man. We had good tag team matches between Imperium and I forgot who they beat that fast.
Hero.
Hero.
On, man.
Hey, Alex. And then that set up a few. We got Dakota turning on Gonzalez. I mean, they set up a lot of stuff on NXT. It was a good, solid show of wrestling and storytelling. The whole Pete Dunne, they've been telling the story of Pete Dunne and Samoa Joe after Samoa Joe beats Cross. So it's happening. It's happening. And then Superstar of the Week. Like I said, it made my week. Samoa Joe, just for coming back. He didn't do nothing special, but the fact that he's cleared to wrestle and he's wrestling on a brand that's gonna let him do him. NXT is gonna let Joe be Joe. So that's a win-win. You can't lose with that. It's not him going to Raw. It's not him going to SmackDown where they go sugarcoat him. He go be Joe, Samoa Joe in NXT. So that's my show of the week and Superstar of the Week. AEW is a close second. If it wasn't for Nick Gage, it would have been first. I'm just saying. Anybody else got any more thoughts on the night or any ideas, any not spoilers, but predictions? What you think is going to happen within the next few weeks?
I can go find some spoilers real quick.
We're definitely not doing that. I would close this stream out real quick. So anybody else got anything to vent about, the praise, anything anybody forgot? This is your chance to get it out.
I would say big shout out to Reginald for bringing back some relevancy to the 24/7 title.
Finally. SmackDown.
Big shout out to Carmelo Hayes, looking good in the breakout tournament.
Yep.
It's and also big props to Josh Briggs too, man. Good to see good to see that evolved talent, finally getting some love. And
I'm just loving this breakout tournament right now.
Yeah.
I mean, just to see these talents and even the losers, just to see how these guys, they can work. These guys who are losing, they're looking good. They're looking, they're selling. Everything's crisp. Everything is just on point, and it's nice. It's because it's something. It's like I said, it's fresh. It's different, and these guys are young. I mean, some of these guys are just. They're in their early 20s. They're the up and comers, and it's awesome to see this. I love this breakout tournament so far because the last one we kind of knew some of the names. We knew some of these guys on the level of like, oh yeah, he wrestled for Evolve. Oh yeah, he wrestled for Dragon Gate. I remember seeing people tweeting out, who the fuck are any of these guys? Like nobody knew who any of these people were in this breakout tournament. I loved it. It got me excited.
Yeah,
that's a big dub on that part.
Anything dark? What you got?
Just a few things. Noah had an event today, crossover in Hiroshima. It was a pretty good show. I would say it was the last 4 matches kind of carried the whole card. So I'm not gonna go over all of the things. All I'm gonna say is that there was a title change with Yoshioka and who was it? Let me find out real quick. Daisuke Harada and Hajime Ohara lost their junior heavyweight titles to Seki Yoshioka and Yu Susumu. And
these names, what?
In the main event, I would say was my match of the show between Naomichi Marufuji and Kazushi Sakuraba. Good Lord, Sakuraba is 52 years old, but this guy, they call him the Gracie Killer for a reason, man. This guy's a fan-fucking-tastic technical wrestler.
Yeah.
If you've never heard of this man or never seen a match, I have it on my other account, 55 Dark Avenue, the whole event. Go check that out. That main event was really dope.
He's ageless.
Yeah, and Stardom started their 5-star Grand Prix yesterday, and they had their second show today. As soon as those come up, I'll also be airing those too once they have them on stream. But got a lot of good pure wrestle over the weekend. So,
okay. Well, I just want to say appreciate everybody that came and kicked it with us tonight. This was actually turned out to be a longer stream than planned. But I'm not mad at it because I mean it was longer because we had people talking and it got interesting and it was good conversation. It wasn't just dragged out. Like it was very good conversation. Everybody came in with some facts, like facts. It's probably the first stream in a while that has been extra people, and I'm like, yo, facts. So normally people come in, and I just be like, huh, what you say? What? That don't even make sense. Like no. So even Alex, I be talking about Alex all the time sometimes, but Alex came in with some facts. But he a hit row guy. He see things, he young. So, but I appreciate everybody. WWE, we gave our suggestions, man. Just watch the podcast one time. Somebody
Not even
creative.
no. Don't watch the podcast. Hire us.
Facts.
Hire us.
Facts.
Give us jobs. We'll make your
Facts.
product better.
Easy, and it's not hard. It's not hard.
You know,
Oh Lord.
we'll and we will lobby for giving creative freedom to your talent.
Yeah.
So that's what's missing.
That's the
Give
first thing.
creative freedom to your talent.
Yeah.
You know, like and don't give them like a 5 or 10%. Give legitimate creative freedom. Give these ideas a chance, because honestly, it works both ways, right?
Mhm.
If you give a talent creative freedom and then they can't get a crowd over, it makes your chances of releasing them that much easier. Hey, look, we gave you a chance and it didn't work for you. We'll wish you on your future endeavors.
Man, there's a difference you'll see in the reaction of AEW guys, the Impact guys, when they all go to the ring. They got smiles on their faces. They got life in them. They're jumping around. They're pumped up. WWE people, it's that same just reaction, same just played out. Just there's no energy to it anymore. You know, these guys are legitimately going out there knowing we're just putting on a show this week. You know, it's sad. It's sad to see, but at the same time, you know, on that indie level, you can see creative control, being in control of your own character. You go out there with a smile on your face. You go out there feeling like this is you know, this is fun.
Yeah.
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 I mean, because you get to be you.
Absolutely.
And like Malachi Black, anything that man does, man, I'm all for. That's one of the most creative guys to
His
ever touch
debuts next
foot.
week.
He's gonna lose, but that's the most creative guy.
Cody's actually leaving, so I don't
He's
think
leaving?
he will. He's got to shoot something. He's like not leaving, but he's shooting something. So Malachi Black is gonna go over next week. If he doesn't go over, that'd be crazy because he's not gonna be on TV for a while.
He
Big
better
show,
go over.
the big show. What is that called? What is the big
Yeah,
little
that's
big
it.
show
I
or whatever
think
it's
that's
called?
it. Yeah, the big.
Yeah, he's gonna be filming for the second season of that show, so he's gonna be gone for a while. So they're gonna write him off with this. They did the same thing with Brody Lee the first time. Brody Lee went over and took the title from him,
So
and then Cody came back and took it from him.
yeah, so I mean, simple as that. What Push said, WWE, you got people here that can actually make the show better easily. I seen the stuff because I applied. I've seen the stuff that y'all require, and it doesn't even add up. It doesn't even make sense to what we're seeing on Mondays. It doesn't make sense. These people don't. They either lying about their degrees or history, work history.
But
somebody lying.
But even with that, so like, let's say for example, like how that writer who got fired, and how she was saying that they didn't even need a wrestling experience. There's nothing wrong with that because you're bringing a different element from what you know into,
she was there for
into the business.
That's it.
That's fine. You know, but you know, the stupid ass IWC, oh, you don't know nothing about wrestling, then why are you even applying for a job? How many times have you applied for a job that you know you wasn't qualified for and they still gave it to you?
Yeah, they won't bring a guy in who loves the product or loves the business. No, they'll bring in Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, so that's my problem. That's why I messed up on the app. I was like, I know the business. I was like, I should have never said that. I should have took that off. Yeah.
But yeah.
So I mean, yeah, man. But I always appreciate everybody that ever show love to the pages. Make sure you follow my guy Darkness, Push Play, my guy Max, which I am going to follow. I clicked on your thing, but it sent me straight to the host. So I'm gonna go back to it, Max, and make sure I follow you, man. And I appreciate everybody that's watching, everybody that stayed. It's almost a 4-hour podcast. It's probably the longest podcast we've done. It is the longest podcast we've done, right, Dark?
Yeah.
It's definitely the longest. We had a lot to talk about. The whole Bray Wyatt thing that started off. Y'all know that was gonna be a hot topic, and like I said, I want to get some opinions on and some ideas from other people about what would you do to fix WWE right now and to bring more ratings to NXT and just fix Raw. But so we went through all that. We got it covered. Much love to y'all. It's Dope, Darkness, Push Play, Max.
Yeah.
As soon as I can find a screen.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. Everybody. Appreciate y'all.
And we are out, man. Y'all have a great night, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.